agenda for tonight.
You want a motion?
Oh, yeah, actually
I
I
move
do,
to
I'm
approve,
sorry.
I move to approve the, agenda as presented.
Okay, thank you, Beverly.
Second.
Second, Richard, second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, so we'll move on, okay. All right, so then we need to, take a look at the minutes and approve the minutes from the May, from the May meeting. It was Beverly and Richard. I'm sorry.
Uno, dos.
Do you wanna try it?
Wow, I just burnt the crap out of my mouth. That hurts. Okay, does everybody have a chance? Oh, have you seen the minutes from the last?
Yeah, it's right here. Oh, you see this?
Okay.
I do see something that's confusing me,
Okay.
in the highlighted area there,
Mhm.
under 403, 4.03, which is something I'll have to comment on later, but, we've got 4.02 B.7. Is that correct? Is it on mine, maybe I didn't note it correctly.
What are you looking at?
On the minutes, under 4.03,
Mm-hmm.
we go down, and then, that's what I thought,
Four, three.
it should still be all part of 4.03,
Three.
correct?
Oh.
Wait, 3?
What are you talking about? So Article 4, the title changed from ag residential to only
New section for
agricultural.
Sign. Okay, I thought that was the, special use with conditions.
We're looking at,
On the
we're looking at
minutes.
the minutes. We did Article 4 last month.
Under, so I just thought, I was just wondering if
Right.
that needed to be a correction on the minutes.
Article 4, A and B, remove text in parentheses. Got that.
That's correct.
B7 is, B,
Okay,
It's the
so
thing
it's
about
just
the
not in
sign.
particular order. Okay, never mind. It's just a little, it was
well, I think they're
confusing to me.
numbered instead of letters.
Okay. Well,
I think
have
they're
no
numbered
further
instead of
comments.
Yeah, 4.02. Okay, yep, we're gonna move the chart. Okay, this is new chart, okay.
So you removed the accessory building one?
On which
Is it-
one?
Oh, on 4.03, it was number 11. We
Number
removed-
11, that goes to the accessory building section.
Okay,
Yep.
and there's a chart there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
So where's the accessory building section?
that is section 12. We
So
haven't
I
done
was
it.
just looking at the minutes.
Okay, yeah, I know, I was just,
Oh,
Yeah, that's in the minutes.
Yep. that's in the,
Which is section 12, isn't it? Okay.
when it says removed, it's not removed, it's just moved. You can go up if you want.
Remove a manufacturing change to, okay, correct number B, number 3, where's B number, okay, state licensed childcare, daycare. Okay, yep, C gets moved to the supplemental. 5.03, number 2, A number 2, that goes to the special use. All right, has everybody had a chance to look them over or not?
I wasn't here, so it's not fair for me to make any comment.
You can say scratch the whole thing, right? Start over, people. Pardon?
Excuse me? You still vote on them, even if you weren't here. I understand.
Do you know that you can, is there a way that, Richard can log in on here and watch the recorded meetings?
If I had
through
the
the
time, I
township
would,
site.
but I don't right now, so.
If you wanted.
Well, I want to, but I don't have the time to do it. I have family matters that I'm attending to that are much more important. I'm here tonight because I missed other meetings, and otherwise I would not be here right now. I just left my sister over at Silver Lake crying because her son is in the hospital with some kind of a brain matter. So I'd much rather be there with her,
Well,
but I'm here.
Well, thank you for being here.
try to make good use of your
Made
time.
a commitment.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, does anyone want to move to approve the minutes from the previous meeting? I will entertain a motion. Is that better wording?
I move to approve the minutes from the May meeting.
All right, Anita moves. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Go ahead.
Okay, Beverly seconds that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
I abstain. I believe that there's a legal right to do that.
No.
I don't, what do you mean? I can't
Like if
comment
you were
on
in a
something that I
conflict.
wasn't part of.
You can vote no, it doesn't, it'll still go.
No. Yep.
Okay. Public comments. Are there any public comments at this time? Do I have to wait?
No.
Okay, since there's no public comments, we'll move on. I'm like,
And there were no, I would ask if there were any emails.
oh, yeah, actually I did. I received an email, from 2 people, that had, questions about a couple of zoning. One was, about building a new deck. The other was about setbacks on an adjacent property. I got, what's the new person's first name again? Beth. I got her contact information from Christy, and I emailed the people back, that they should contact her. I verified with Tasha that was the person they should contact.
Right.
I'm like,
yeah, you
Tasha,
don't have to do that.
help me out. So is that something where I should forward that communication to Beth directly also? I did. Oh, okay. I told them to contact her, but I will also forward their emails. Okay. Or you could reply to that person and then copy Beth. Copy Beth, okay. And then say, I CC the zoning administrator. Okay. Yeah, feel free to contact her. I copied her in this email. Okay. You could do that also. Okay, great. Then I will do that and take care of that, so.
Yeah, and I just
Thank you,
meant
Beth.
because sometimes people will, email you a public comment. Or that happens to the board. It rarely happens to us, but you never know.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it because I got her information and forwarded it to them, and then it left my brain. So thank you for that. I was like, I'm done with that. Task done. excuse me, okay, approval of previous minutes, no public comments, there is no public hearing scheduled for this evening. So we will move on to, new business. Do we wanna do new business or old business first? That's on the agenda first, okay. I didn't know if we had, that's fine, that's fine.
I'll address those on behalf of, Beth, she's not able to be here tonight.
Okay.
The campground, interpretation request, will be made formally by Beth at your next meeting. The information is enclosed, so you understand why she's making that request. She'll be here at the July meeting for questions, and you should be prepared that she will provide an interpretation of your current zoning.
Okay.
Enough body for interpretation, the ZBA is, but maybe we should call it something else. Maybe future implementation of the new ordinance, maybe?
Wait, what did you just say, Tasha? I couldn't hear you well.
So interpretation goes to the zoning board of appeals.
Yeah, we don't interpret a zoning ordinance, right?
That's why I said we need to call it something else.
Okay.
So, you want me to just?
Clarification, maybe?
So in our zoning ordinance, our current zoning ordinance, we have a campground as a special land use. But if you read through the district, it's not allowed anywhere as a special land use.
Okay,
So if you read my draft in the ag district, I added it in there with a question mark because it's not listed anywhere.
yes.
So we have a special use and it's not listed anywhere. So she knows to know it should be listed somewhere. And
So the-
typically the ag district would be.
So the planning
Where you want
commission
it.
needs to decide where it should be, basically.
Or where.
Or
yeah.
if it should be.
So we can have a commercial discussion in the ag district. I can already see this flowing in my head right now.
Okay.
Sorry to be.
That's why I'm here, that's okay.
So that's new business, and she is coming next month, so
Yes.
do we do this discussion tonight? Is that how that goes?
So I had kind of started it already, so it was already prompted by me doing some of this already, so,
Yes.
you know, so I kind of already brought it up, so if we went over the stuff that we did already, I was gonna kind of bring it up, so I wasn't really sure if we wanna get all the districts done, and then go back and kind of review them again.
Okay.
That's,
Do we have a definition for campground?
yes.
That would be our definition. It's not under campground. What would it be under in our definition?
Special uses? Would it be under special uses?
Special use provisions are in the special use, yes. Don't have a definition for
No, not in my packet of definitions. Let me look in this one. Definitions is Article 2.
Should I look in the old ordinances? I
Well,
have
we should be
those.
looking at the current.
Not in these,
So should we,
not in the ones that ended 2015, because I have those with me.
yeah, we don't have one. So,
But if you go to the special use, or I think it is. So that's another problem.
we need to, perhaps what we need to do is use the most current version each time.
Well,
And-
No,
there's a problem.
No?
So,
We need to use what's in effect.
correct.
Oh, yeah.
So then, our new draft has text in it that we haven't discussed that came from another ordinance.
Okay.
So at some point, I was hoping tonight, so that I could start working on it, we need to take the stuff out that isn't ours and put in our stuff and go from there.
So here's, I just need clarification. So are we gonna table the districts
Nope,
8 through,
nope,
that's all part of it?
nope. We're doing that as separate.
Right. But are we gonna have time to get through both of those things tonight?
No, but I'm gonna have time to ask you a question
Okay,
to know what direction I should go for the next draft.
okay.
In other words, we'll get to it when you guys get to the your zoning ordinance update.
Okay.
Any other questions about the campground? In our current, the adopted ordinance,
It's under 4.13. 4.13.
I don't have that with, I don't have the oldest one with me.
The current.
Or the current, like the one that we're revising, I don't have that.
May 2022, I have that one. You've got September 2021.
Those are all revisions.
These are all
ones.
revisions.
That's not what we're talking
I don't
about
have
yet.
the one without revisions.
You can use this one if you want.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I forgot to bring.
so section
14.06,
14.06 is the new one.
thank you, Dave.
Or page 66, but that's the, that's the same.
I have that as 13. 14 point what?
06.
Oh,
Shoot, I've got
So,
principal
the very first
I don't have a
line of the
14.06.
campground is you have to have 20 acres. And the agricultural district is the only district that possibly could have properties that are 20 acres.
Right.
so the commercial district along 388 does not?
That might be a possibility that someone might.
Could be in both.
And, so 20 acres, so is there a possibility that along the lake, someone may have 20 acres, a 20-acre parcel? So the minimum
Oh,
size is a
totally.
20-acre parcel right now.
There are lakes that have 20.
Oh, yeah.
But they may not be zoned agricultural. I think there are some that are.
Yeah.
So did this person evidently has property and they want to do, oh, they don't? Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So like Rosa's Retreat, that was zoned commercial.
So you could have campgrounds in possibly two districts. You could do commercial, and you could also do the agricultural district, or whatever district you want. I mean, at some point, we're gonna go through the provisions of the campground, so if you think it could be 5 acres, then, you know, that could be a discussion for another
5 sounds
but
small,
For the
yeah.
most part, typically means.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Hello.
Come on in.
What's going on here?
Well, come on in, planning commission meeting.
Yeah?
Exciting stuff.
Are you Democrats?
What does that matter?
Why?
I'm sorry?
See ya. I said, are you Democrats? See?
I don't understand the question.
We aren't political.
We're nonpartisan.
You're a Democrat.
Okay.
Well, I am, so I don't,
You're fine, so.
You
I
know,
hope
this-
What does it matter?
Hope
No,
not going off
but-
this gun.
yeah, it
No, I
doesn't
just
matter.
thought of that.
I still live in America, and I can actually be a Democrat.
I-
Everybody out
No,
there,
my issue is security.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
like
that's-
somebody coming in and doing that.
yep.
That's not,
Can you see
we have a lot of characters.
him out the window?
Well, I know.
can anyone see out the window?
Characters are one thing, but people that are potentially dangerous are another.
Okay, so, how about we do our chapters, and then we can come back to this
Okay.
campground thing at the end. So
Okay.
that we can get through our districts, because this is a topic that a person has not even bought property,
So it's not something,
so we don't have an application, but it is something that we need to be discussed relatively.
Does it make them up? So
Wait, we have G
then
two.
maybe we could do homework on it or something after. Okay.
okay.
All right, so we need to review campground.
Shall I go look and see if they're left?
No, I think better left alone. I'm prepared to defend myself.
So basically, 3
my
And then look at their
constitutional
zoning
right.
map, and
That's
then
right.
see what
Excellent.
districts do you think
It should go in.
would be
Okay.
best for
Okay,
campground.
so,
That makes me feel very better, thank you.
All right.
No, we don't need to do
I
it.
lost my thing, I did something.
Oh, you gotta, it's so fussy, mine's finicky too.
Touched
Yep,
it.
so the next thing that Beth would,
there you
wants
go.
to make everybody aware of is that you will be seeing something soon on the Grand Junction School. It has been purchased, they are intending to use it for retail purposes.
Okay.
And there will be some, things that you guys need to do, including some hearings. Just wanted to give you a heads up about that as you're, scheduling things, to keep in mind that.
Okay.
Should we just take it as it comes though, in case they drag their feet? 'Cause if they wanna do a liquor store, they've gotta get that license first, don't they?
already have the liquor license.
Oh, they're gonna quit that one and move it to this one? Yay, just what we need.
I hope they don't trash the inside of that
Oh,
building, 'cause it's
I know, isn't it, I just can't picture that,
Quit which
liquor store,
one? What are we talking
laundromat.
about?
The school that's
I
been
know the school.
pretty much,
What, what's
is
she
it the
saying?
pickle liquor we're talking about? That one?
Yeah.
They're moving it over to there?
I kinda thought he was going
With a
out of business.
laundromat.
I don't ever seen anybody in there.
Neither.
Somebody else should have bought it, I guess. I don't know, what do you do?
I thought that'd been
What
a
do you-
cool place for some kind of residential.
I thought it'd be a cool
They were-
community building.
They were
Well, that
turning it into a home, but, he got transferred.
Yeah, that would be nice. too.
Okay. Did my, there we go. Good
Yeah, I'm
grief.
having.
Yeah, it keeps shutting, there's
I-
probably.
I-
I,
Yeah,
I'm
there's
not,
a- there's a
I'm
timeout.
not an Apple
Okay.
person,
Me neither, and I don't know how to keep it on, because I
Yeah,
know
there's
there's
You just have to
settings.
touch the
Just
screen
have
every
to
now
close
and
them.
then. Yeah.
I think there's a setting to keep it on.
I
so
did,
you
I
tell
did, but
nothing.
then I got like the home screen and I couldn't
Okay.
figure out how to get to this.
I don't know what that setting is, so,
All right,
Yeah, we'll figure it
to
out
make it
later.
stay on without going to sleep.
Okay.
so
We'll have to
basically
figure
these
that
two
out.
items mean we're supposed to be prepared to see something.
Yes.
There's been no official applications for anything.
Well, the one about the campground, there won't be an official, but Beth will need direction because she has to answer them before they come out.
I understand.
And the other one, you should have an actual site plan review.
Okay.
And that property's already been purchased and it's already sold.
Gotcha, thank you.
And I didn't realize site plans are a record that are kept forever. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Unless you're a
Yeah.
state or government or something agency, and then they don't even have to present a site plan, which is kinda crazy, but.
Because it ends up the life of the building, maybe if it burns down or something, you could get rid of it.
No, what I was reading was forever. I'm just doing some
Random, I love how
nighttime random reading, yeah, which,
how the people.
I do that.
Oh. You need a novel?
No, I just, this kind of stuff will help you go to sleep.
Yeah.
That is so fake. I wish, but I don't, right? Anyway, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Are we ready to start?
Yes, for
So,
sure.
I am assuming everyone got my revisions for the chapters. I emailed them and
Yeah,
everything.
I read through them, and I
Well, I
think,
just wanna review it, I just wanna,
okay, because I don't have them.
well, I do have.
There's too many
some things on
papers.
your thing.
Oh, they're on my thing.
They're here on the link, right?
Oh, duh.
The link,
Okay.
but,
Where's
So
the
I do
link at?
have, I
Um,
did highlight a few things that we kinda need to come back to.
right.
Where's the link you're talking?
We go to the agenda. And
yeah,
the
she's
link's
talking
right
about
there.
those,
Do
You
yeah.
have a pen, you have in the side there,
Yeah.
down at the bottom, that can help you touch that.
Oh,
bit.
does that do better than
Yeah,
my
than your
fat
finger.
crooked
I
finger?
got a pretty good finger.
Yeah, pretty good pointer. Yeah.
So, well, I thought we could get through all of the districts and then kind of
Go back to this.
maybe just.
Yeah, go through the districts and then come back to that other.
Yeah, that was my thought, we can get them all
Okay.
drafted and then.
Sure. No, that's fine. We can do that.
Do you wanna do yours first
Um,
and then start on Article 8?
if we're gonna circle back, let's just go, we'll go back then. if that's okay. That's fine with me. Okay. Whoops, what did I do there? Come on.
So Article 8 is the commercial district.
Mm-hmm.
The commercial district, so, the old golf course on Jeffco Lake is
Where am I
commercial.
gonna find that?
That, I know we kinda went over this already, that
Okay.
junkyard,
In
Have a
the,
look at the paper one.
in the zoning ordinances that you have in there, it won't be in online, right? Yeah. And are we, skipping over H1, the board input
Excuse me? Am I talking?
under old business? Yeah.
sorry, Stephen, I have my glasses on. Sorry, Deb.
Oh, that's all right. I just figured get that out of the way, then we can move on and dig into this thing.
Yeah.
And, Richard, we're looking at tonight Articles 8 through 11,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna be in the paper.
Or in the one that's binder clipped together. I don't know who that belongs to.
Yeah, this one's mine.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're going to do the, each one.
So, we did ask for some board feedback on what the board would like, because they approve things. And, some, as well as recommendations, some questions came up, and I'll get the questions out of the way really quickly. One was, Ken wanted to know what happened to the, minimum building height. He thought it got shorter down to 25 foot, but it's not, it's 2.5 stories, 35 foot, correct?
For a house.
For a dwelling.
For a dwelling, correct, it's still 35 feet or 2.5 stories.
Okay, and is it for an accessory? It is,
25.
oh, it is 25 for an accessory, so, and has that changed at all? It has not
We
changed.
haven't actually gotten to that chart yet.
Right.
So
Okay, okay,
it's still, correct, so in our current accessory building chart, the height is 25 feet.
okay,
So
okay,
actually, there's two heights, if you're under 2 acres, it's 20 feet, and then 25 for everyone else.
okay.
Go ahead, Steve. So to answer his question, it has not changed, it's still, does he want it to be different, or?
No, he was asking,
This is just a question, okay, there was some, I think there was some.
yeah. So, we talked about, minimum, we talked about tiny homes. And the board is not opposed to tiny homes in the RO district, the Old Flats district, and they would need to be stick-built. We threw out one that's not movable. It cannot be movable on wheels. A tiny home is, so some people define a tiny home as a trailer.
Oh, I'm sorry, correct. I'm sorry, yes, correct. I thought you were specifically referring to manufactured homes, sorry. Oh, correct. So basically, we're talking about a smaller dwelling size.
Yeah,
Yes,
still a dwelling, it's just the size.
in the RO district.
Oh, okay.
So then what would be the required minimum size?
Cheryl, do you remember what we,
So
600, was that?
600 is generally anywhere between 400, or anything 600 or less is generally defined as a tiny home.
And Ken threw out there 24 by 24, which gave you 576 square foot, he felt like would be, I mean, that was just a number that was thrown out.
Would be
So
what, a minimum?
the board is not saying you guys are gonna use this number.
So we penciled in 600 square feet and 14 feet width.
Yeah.
And that was a concern, that you make sure that you wanted to meet that. We didn't want like old mobile homes that don't meet the requirements, that can't pass inspection being brought in because they passed the minimum, the smaller size. So that's 14 foot of one wall, for sure.
they specified the RO and not the R1 or anything else?
The RO, the old plats
Just the
that,
old plat.
where
That
they
have
were
the
too
smaller-
small, so they, you know, they can put a couple together to make a buildable lot, but with like a bigger home, you might not meet the setbacks and stuff, so we thought it, you know, to be able to have room, to have a well and septic, you know, so far away from the house, whatever those particular.
If someone buys a mobile home that is 14 feet in width and 600 square feet, you have to allow it in that.
The average single wide is like
Right.
1,092 or something.
I know you can't exclude a mobile home,
Smaller ones.
but,
Mhm.
right,
So you understand.
but if it
that
meets the sizes, right?
if it's correct.
But if we have at least one wall, 14 foot,
Yeah.
Right, but one,
okay, well, maybe that's why someone threw out 24 by 24.
So that's 576 square feet.
But
That's not large enough.
the dimension's 24 by
And what
24.
was he suggesting, that
As
be
a minimum.
That be the minimum?
Okay, gotcha. That was the number that was thrown out.
Right, right,
I have a question.
right.
Do you know what the minimum size dwelling, minimum square footage dwelling is required by the state of Michigan? They don't.
So each room, there's a size requirement for each room, which
Uh-huh.
is like 7 by 7 or something or
Okay.
other. So, but they don't regulate the size of the dwelling.
Of the dwelling, okay.
The state of Michigan, just so you guys know, is one of the only states that has no uniform septic code. One of the reasons why our water is in so much trouble, why we have the Black River full of human E. coli.
So they've left it up to the county health departments, is that
Yes.
basically what it is?
A separate
Which-
construction code.
Okay.
For houses that get below a certain size, which is 400, so the building code calls a tiny home under 400 square feet.
Under 400,
So,
okay.
and that does change the actual code, so if you wanna keep the code at the higher level, you would wanna make sure that you're
Above 400.
very highly recommended.
Good point.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it should be above, yeah.
Yeah,
And if you wanted to prevent mobile homes, you could say, one side has to be 18 feet.
So, to prevent a single wide going in the RO district, you would stick with the
24 by 24. So that would make our minimum square footage for housing, what did you say it was?
576.
576?
Or you could even do,
yeah.
you would have to keep the width at 24 feet.
So on those little bitty lots, can you get a 24-foot wide house in there? No.
But you can get a 14, because that's what
You
you
get
have
a
currently. So in your RO district, your side setback is a total of 10 feet. One side is 3 and the other side is 7. So those small lots, you actually meet the setback with your minimum dwelling size. Out of your, but it's correct.
So.
Well, you can, but you
they
gotta
can
have a
combine
variance,
lots.
'cause I had to get 3 of them.
So if you had a 40-foot wide lot, as an example, you would meet the setback requirements on that lot. You couldn't get it.
Right.
Okay, so,
And we're not,
Well, you
and all the lots that we've sold, we combined. We didn't sell any single lots because we don't need any more of that. It's a problem. So, we were kind of looking at this as a way to be able to get residents or summer residents, whatever, to develop those areas, the fire lane areas or whatever we want to call them, without ruining them.
You're really trying to restrict single wide in the RO district. You could possibly do 16, but with, I don't know why you would.
do we have any RO districts on, like, lakes? Is that what we're talking about? We don't?
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's the dark
my
brown.
Saddle Lake, my cottage
Here, let
is
me
in
pull
our
mine
own.
out. I have trouble reading this
My
map.
cottage is in our own Saddle Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not in old old plat, are you?
1937.
Oh,
This is the Little Bear Park,
Right,
and then there are some around here.
All the brown,
But
right?
these are all
they're all
built out
developed.
and developed already. This is the section that is not.
yeah,
Okay.
and that's what we're looking at.
Right there?
Right in,
It's right off 388,
Yep.
isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's right here.
Oh, okay.
and that's
Be
what we're
It's a great
concerned
place
with,
for a campground.
that area there. That would be a good place.
That
to
would be a
camp
great
on.
place for a camp.
Why can't we?
It's not agricultural.
Oh, okay.
You can't convert that, a place that's platted can't become a campground?
Have to replat it.
Oh,
That's all right.
that
Dumb
would be an
dumb
ideal
idea.
place for a
Sorry.
campground.
Well,
Huh,
it would. I mean, easy to get to South Haven. Is
that
that,
would be a great,
You know, okay, so I found this out recently, I don't know if you guys know this, do you know the history of that space? It was originally platted as the village of Columbia. There was a train station there, and people got off, and they originally planned on building that out as a full
the
village.
fire lanes there?
Yes.
Oh, but it didn't get developed.
It didn't
None of that
get
happened.
developed. They ended up just transporting people over to the resorts from there, and didn't end up developing the village, and then they replatted it later when the, newspaper.
And then they developed the village down by where the railroad actually went through.
No, this is different. It was a different village.
Oh,
They actually platted that after this was here.
I'll be darned. That would make a great campground. How many acres is there total? Are they, oh, they're all owned separately. It wouldn't work at this
It'd be
point.
impossible.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to think where it is exactly. It's where, is it where 51st and a half comes up? Oh, I think it's a little further down, because I usually come out here to get into here.
If
So
you're leaving here,
yeah, you go east. So if I'm leaving here, I'm gonna go back this way, and it's before I get to
and it's all in here.
48 and a half, yeah.
And we've had nothing but trouble in there.
Trouble with the people that live there. Is that like
No,
Alva
the
Drive and?
people that don't own the land, bringing campers in there and trailers and living there.
Oh, awesome.
And doing all kinds of other things besides living.
That's great. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to move forward. What do we need?
Thank you.
Oh, yes, okay, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that you were, I apologize.
I got a question then, so are they opposed to like possibly 600 square feet in all of the districts? Or they really only wanna go smaller in just the RO?
We didn't discuss it in all of the districts. That didn't come up.
The only thing we talked about was having the really small houses in the RO. We
Yeah.
didn't necessarily say you can't go smaller everywhere else, we just said that we wanted significantly smaller in the RO.
I'll just put like smaller in this district.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the other thing was the accessory dwelling units, and the board would like accessory dwelling units. But for us to put the regulations on them, because don't want them to be used as, you don't want them to be rentals. You don't want them to be bigger you don't want them to be bigger or as big as even
The main
it
dwelling.
needs to be an accessory to the main dwelling, yeah. And then the other thing that the board strongly recommends is the wording on the grower facility, they do want the word marijuana added. Because they feel like grower is not clear to everyone that it's marijuana, they want it to be clear.
Should
That
it be just marijuana facility or marijuana grower facility?
Marijuana
grower
You should
facility,
have
because
grower
that's
in
the
there.
only facilities we allow,
Mhm.
Marijuana grower facility?
yeah,
So no dispensary.
no dispensary. And then this was, just a comment, the, MTA guide, the planning and zoning recommends that, and this is something that we should plan on, they recommend that once a year, the planning commission, the board, and the ZBA hold a joint meeting, because then you can inform each other what's going on, you learn things from each other, because the ZBA isn't supposed to just grant variances all over the place. But they can give us feedback to let us know, hey, what's not working with your ordinances?
Yeah, that's
And then the board can be there to hear it, and then, Christie had suggested that we could make a training at the same one, because anytime we're together, we're a quorum, so it has to be a meeting, but then we could take advantage of that meeting to also do joint training for everyone. So I just want to put that out there, something that maybe we could plan for, and I saw that in this book when I was doing some nighttime reading, so.
No, that's good. I mean, have everybody kind of on the same.
And then,
Well, possibly a good time, so the
That was
planning
it.
commission every year is supposed to do like a synopsis or a recap of what they did. So whenever, like your fiscal year, whatever.
is that what you call the report
The report, correct. So
at the end of the year?
crafted or whatever.
What is the
maybe-
fiscal year, excuse me?
To go fiscal or calendar?
I think it was calendar year. It's December, I believe it happened.
The fiscal year is through March, end of March, but that report is calendar.
Yeah. And that's done by the chair.
Add it to your list.
Keep track of what you're
Hey,
doing.
hey, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna
So
quit.
next would definitely be something to use as part of the planning commission.
Only
this
2
is what we
lines.
did.
We worked
Well,
on
I
that.
think, it'd be appropriate to do that in January, because you wanna get through the end of the year.
Right.
And then do your report. So you
Okay.
should be looking at doing that report.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. I'm going on a cruise. I'm kidding, I'm not, but I will.
That's it.
It's pretty easy, all the minutes are on the website, so you just start in January and just kind of, we talked about the zoning ordinance.
That's what we've
it.
done. And that's all, I don't have to necessarily go through it, I just have to say, we talked about them at every single meeting.
Just a summary.
Yeah, okay.
Remember that it's something that, it's your opportunity for the community to hear what the planning commission's vision has been and how you got to the point you are now.
Mhm.
So I think it's important to keep in mind that it's kind of like the fancy little speech for the year for this.
If you did a site plan review, you put that in there, or a special land use, you put that in there, if you had a public hearing, or.
Ordinance revision.
Okay. Yeah.
And do we have old ones
Get the
from
right lingo.
Leslie, like for a sample? It's always good to look at. Yeah. Okay, I am done.
You are done? Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Sorry, I skipped over you.
Oh, no, that's all right, Carol.
Well,
No worries.
someday I'm gonna get it
And that
right.
serves as my report too.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, so, I also wanted to go over some old business about, some things that we had talked about scratching out, but they're things that I got thinking about, and I thought, well, wait a minute, I don't know. So maybe what we could do, I think we all just kind of went, well, I don't know. So maybe what we can do is actually kind of do a hands up, hand down, do we want to keep this out or not? And it's in the ag district, I believe. I think it's all in the ag. No, not all of it, but the one that we did, okay, help me, Tasha, the one on the brine wells, that's in the ag, okay, so that would be section, let me find it. Let me get there. Hold on. 4, right? Yes, thank you. Anita. You're faster than I am. So it was in permitted special uses with, conditions, I believe. And, we removed the oil and brine wells and storage facilities for the same, but, I got thinking, are there still, properties that have oil underneath them? So if we scratch that out, it doesn't mean a person's going to get a special use permit, correct? But it means that they can come to the zoning appeals and ask for that if they want to drill in there on their own property because they found oil.
One other thing, y'all don't mind me, I just wanted one little piece of advice. You guys going through this ag thing, we ask to have a farmer come in, so you can ask.
That would be a good idea.
Because I don't understand brine wells very well, but I did have a farmer tell me that they're common on farms. So,
A brine well?
yeah,
Um,
but I don't know anything about them.
and some of the things we removed, like service and sales in ag district, because they're permitted already.
No, that got changed to the commercial,
Oh, right, we
I
moved
thought,
it, okay.
yeah. So, before, I guess my thing is, before we just go, okay, let's just scratch that, if we aren't sure what it is and what its purpose is, we should probably leave that in and then do some research about it. Because I guess.
I wouldn't leave it as permitted if we don't know what it is. Maybe we should do our research first.
Right, but I'm saying we can take it out, but I think it's easier to maybe to remove it, or.
Would it be helpful to have a farmer come in?
I think so, I think so.
I believe that Tara's mother would be interested in coming in and allowing you guys to ask her some questions, farming all her life. And they do farm in Columbia Township. She does not live in Columbia Township, but they operate farms in Columbia Township. So if you guys are interested, I can ask her. I could ask Rick Hodgman if he'd be willing to come back for a discussion. I'm not so sure that will fly, but we can try.
I don't know who that is, I'm sorry.
It was on
Farmer.
planning commission then, remember?
Oh, okay.
I'm sure we could probably get someone from the Silk Farm to come in if we wanted to.
Or we could just ask them and maybe in emails and see if anyone answers.
Ask them if they have brine wells and what they do with
special
it.
land use, there are no provisions or guidelines in our special land use for this.
But it's
So
in the permitted use with conditions, well, we removed it, but it was in the agricultural district.
Special use,
Right, so it's not like you can just do it, you have to,
It's a special use and no one's ever special used it, right?
Oh, but they have.
but if someone came in with an application.
We don't have any paperwork.
We don't have any provisions to
Right.
use other than basically our site plan review.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's kind of another part of our,
It's like, so how big is it gonna be, and
And that's why I'm.
what's your spill control and what's your
so we
pollution
have
control?
zero provisions if we did receive an application.
Yeah. So if we allow it, we're gonna have to have a
We would need to,
zoning ordinance.
we would need to come up with special use
Special use
provisions,
ordinance,
correct?
So, and we need to come up with provisions, because if we don't and somebody wants one, then we're stuck with
We kind of
just a
screwed.
site plan and no rules to go on.
Yeah. So they could
Okay.
basically go property line to property line.
Well, it's still a special use.
So they would still have to follow the underlying setback of the district,
And you're still doing a site plan review.
and there's still, the special use still has those harmonies with the neighborhood, will it be loud? So we still have those 7 or 8 subjective types of things to use.
So have you read the definition of special use permit?
But if it's in ag, it doesn't matter if it's loud. We can't regulate
You haven't done your
that.
definitions yet, so don't, you
Okay.
can't base anything off of your definition.
Those are last,
Okay.
We did was last.
I was just saying, in here, the special use permit, you know, it's kind of like, I don't want to read the thing, but
okay.
You haven't done your definitions yet, so you can't use that as a basis.
I don't see it changing a whole lot, but.
So, do you guys want me to try to get in a couple farmers?
Yeah, I mean,
Sure, why not?
I don't think
Or
that
do the email.
information, yeah, I don't think that more information is bad, because what we're
Yeah.
doing here is setting ordinances for the township, and those ordinances affect real people who have, you know, who have rights to their property
Yeah.
within certain measures.
Right.
And, I mean, you know what I mean? I think I don't think you have to allow things that are going to be bad for the community or the
community,
environment,
right.
but I also think you don't just wholesale because I don't know what that is and it sounds bad, strike it out.
When I first heard brine well, I thought it was pickles.
I know, and I thought, well, who doesn't want pickle?
So
I'm with you, Beth.
there's a brine tank in Bloomingdale behind the county garage.
In the county, oh, is that the garage that, like,
Where all the plow
Like
trucks
the
are.
So why do they
Oh,
call it
okay.
brine? Cause I always
Okay.
thought brine was salt.
salt,
It's
it is,
saltwater.
it
yeah.
is salt
Oh, it
water.
is salt.
It's softened,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
comes up with the oil.
yeah.
So there's
Oh.
a big, huge tank there
Oh,
that
storing it.
smells like crude oil, because you can smell it before you can see it. But on the river,
Yeah.
For what?
Oh, that's why the dust control smells weird.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Okay.
yeah, 'cause it's part crude oil.
But it's a natural byproduct, isn't it? It's not it's not like a chemical that they're
Because
putting.
it's natural, doesn't mean it's,
Well, it's crude oil.
Doesn't mean it
We're
doesn't
good.
stink, but it's not like you're spraying Roundup on the streets, you know what I mean?
oh, yes, we are.
Well, I know, but you know what I mean,
hate
not
that.
using it for dust.
Yeah. Okay.
So, if you guys want me to just email them, send me questions, if you'd like me to ask them to come in and do that.
Okay. So we need to come up with questions.
So why does a farmer have a brine well then? If this is only related to oil, it must be related to.
That's why we're
other
gonna ask
things.
them to come, because we don't know.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't fully understand why I said that.
because we might be talking about two different
Things, right? Right.
here. Okay.
Okay, the other one that I wanna do is the sales and service in the ag district. So, I had a question. We put it in the industrial,
Commercial.
excuse me, in the commercial, in the commercial district, and I'm thinking the commercial district is right here. So let's say somebody has some large farm equipment that they need serviced, or they need whatever, they have to drive it in through here, but if you have it out in the ag district, doesn't that make more sense? That it would be closer
No.
to,
It
it would be,
They usually go to the farm if it's big
Do
enough.
they?
They would go
Okay.
to the farm or the farmer, when you're talking big stuff. Now, when you're talking like a regular tractor, we put our tractor on the trailer and took it over here to Rick's, who's no longer in business, right here, but Tasha had a point. and I
Tasha.
don't know what it is.
Tasha, you were,
So Columbia Township does not want any commercial in agricultural.
Oh, I
We
like
are
that.
Columbia Township, so which part of the we?
yeah, which part of the we,
Then they
that's
pass,
been,
Yeah, but I think that's the point right there.
yeah.
then they pass, that, so.
And you have to go by your master plan. And are you going to keep your districts of a common character?
Fast forward what?
Their voice very loudly that commercial uses are not allowed in
Oh, yeah, very, very loudly.
And I believe the intent was not spotted around, not spot zoning. So we're doing a commercial overlay for the future land use map, which I forgot to mention. I think we made a typo and put just commercial, and it needs to be overlay. We need to make sure it's overlay. We don't wanna knock all the residential out of their residential rights by being commercial.
So
All the way down
there is,
388, and
that's gonna be the, okay, that's the commercial overlay, correct?
overlay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
right
right
through
now,
here.
Grand Junction has one,
Right,
but we propose expanding it,
Okay.
all the way down and then over 388. And then before, we had proposed going all the way down 215 to, out to Breedsville.
okay,
But that got put down, so, right now, we just have that for commercial overlay.
okay.
But,
Which actually
and
is
we
in
have talked
part of
about
the,
doing this as an
The board has.
agritourism overlay
uh-huh,
as opposed to commercial overlay, but that down to 15.
oh,
That hasn't, for me, it would be down any of the major county roads.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense
Makes sense.
going down side roads.
right, okay. So, okay, so, I just need,
A little background, since you're kind of new. That's
Yes.
just some of.
Yeah, and for
But we're
Richard too.
moving forward to fix that and find, because I agree, there should be something in the ag where our ag people could go for that type of service.
I think it makes sense. I mean, the thing is that the acreage is large enough that it's not going to be highly concentrated,
Well, I
or,
can tell you too, that I don't know a lot about much else than blueberry farming, and I only know that because I helped them with advertisement stuff. Not blueberry farmers in our township, other townships in the area. And oftentimes they have to send their machines been more beneficial for them to be able to take it somewhere close by.
Well, we did have Rick's Tractor Supply. He went out of business. They moved away. Their building is there. I don't know, did somebody buy that? And I see
Somebody's living in it.
equipment out there. So, yeah, you're talking like a mile or two difference depending on where it would go. Are you talking anywhere in the ag district? And then if so, we'd need limits because what are they gonna build? We already have people running auto repair shops in the ag district. Not because they're supposed to, but they just are. So, I don't know. And you can't spot zone, so it's like, are you gonna overlay the entire ag district, or?
There's something that's not really needed. Because
Well,
now,
no one's proposed to
if
do
you
it.
have to have a piece of farm equipment moved and trailered, it doesn't matter much if you move it 5 miles or 20 miles.
Well, on the blueberry equipment,
Other than the
some of
fuel.
big
Other than
stuff.
the cost
Other
of
than
the
the
fuel
fuel.
and
I
the
found an
time and the.
interesting item in this jacket I haven't worn in a while. This is a receipt for gas from 12/15/21.
And,
How much?
$65 for 22 gallons, and I just did
it
the quick
says,
math for 520, and it's $115. $50 more.
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
We would need to have that, but currently it puts the food processing and then the farm sales together, where you're not gonna process food on the same property and also sell. So I think that would need to be too.
And it's farm equipment sales and service,
Yeah.
not anything else.
Not
Added
just
back in.
tractors or just small equipment, it's farm equipment. Like, when I think of farm equipment, I think like,
Combine.
yeah.
Well, there's like the propane company that's out in the middle of nowhere out there, and the township spot zoned them. So they're next to these other neighbors, because some of our farms are big, the rest are just big rural properties, they're not necessarily farmers. But now they're there with all these propane tanks there, and they're just out in the middle of nowhere, and I don't even know if anyone's servicing from there, they just have the big storage tanks.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
And that was
Propane
put
tank
in a
graveyard.
while ago, so, we've got all these inconsistencies, so.
So if you have some farmers that wanna come in and tell us about brine, maybe some farmers wanna come in and tell
Tell
us
us if they
about their
need-
equipment getting
Yeah.
repaired.
And
Because
it's
to me,
not,
that seems a lot more germane than a brine.
well, I don't know, we don't know, I guess I'm just saying that it seems like as you read through this, there's things that are in, that don't necessarily make sense, and I think it's our job to say, instead of saying we don't want it, or we do, or maybe we shouldn't allow it, or maybe we should
Yeah.
allow it, we need the information, we need to know what the constituents,
The input.
what serves them the best, because we're here to
I-
serve them,
I
and to
agree.
make good,
There's also
zoning
no
decisions.
special land use provisions for that either,
for what?
for the food processing.
That's not in the special uses section. So we are gonna need to put that in, because it says in here that that's a special use, so we have to figure out and come up with definitions for that, okay.
For the food processing.
For food
yeah,
processing and packing. We're on four,
We have that, so what's the question here? I'm lost.
What's
Well-
that, Christie?
Well, apparently we don't have guidelines. And we need guidelines.
In the zoning ordinance, it's a special land use.
right, in,
For the special land use, there are no provisions for that use in
Oh.
that special land use.
Oh.
So they're
which is
operating
section
without
12.
any provisions of zoning.
Well, the provision states that they are allowed to do it with a special land use, with no guidelines around what they are. and
The
what
special
they are.
land use has no,
has no guide, no,
right,
no teeth. So basically, that,
so then they can do whatever
And
they
we're
want.
talking about like MGB marketing, like that kind of processing thing,
So they
right?
would still have to go through, like the other things, like the well, like plan review.
Yeah.
We still have our underlying zoning. There are a few things that you go through, but there's no other specific criteria, like be 100 feet from the property line.
Okay.
Food processing is big facility.
yeah.
Right,
And waste
absolutely,
disposal.
yeah.
Big money.
So, So it's kind of sort of there, but nobody ever completed that. So what we need to do is go ahead and listen to, maybe hear from some people about that, and then if we decide to keep it in or whatever, come up with what those parameters are.
So I propose to leave the food processing and packaging industry, add back in the farm equipment sales service, and put a question mark.
Okay.
Put it back in there, since it specifically is for a farm, and it's not some random auto sale.
I will speak for the people that live in this community and that filled out their questionnaire for our master plan. They want the zoning to be kept ag residential. And they don't want mixed use, they do not want all these commercial activities in the ag district.
But even though it's already in there.
It should be removed.
Okay.
And, you know, that's what I'm here for, I'm here to speak for the people. And maybe you don't wanna hear it.
And I do other things in the survey too, so.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
We do wanna hear it.
And maybe you don't wanna hear it, and maybe you have different plans for our community. But the people of this community don't wanna see all of a sudden, there's a great big brine tank going up next to their home. Or there's a farm equipment sales and service going up next to their home. So, you have to decide who you represent.
Well, I don't think it's either or. I don't think it's either or exclusive, because I feel like I can speak for some people in the community, and I would say that I don't think it, I mean, I think it needs to be well discussed, well researched, and you need to.
We're not adopting it.
Yeah, we're not. We're just, and it's not saying that no, it's not gonna happen, or yes, it is gonna happen. I just think we need more information.
We get more information and come back to it.
But you're trying to permit kind of pie in the sky stuff that nobody's ever wanted, nobody's ever asked for. Yet for some reason, we gotta have a zoning ordinance.
I don't think nobody.
Well, I see businesses moving out of the area, all the bars and restaurants have moved out.
The bars, aren't they in the
The Dutch Mill
commercial?
has moved out.
North Lake, they
What's
got
that have to do
the,
with sales and service of
The culture of the community has changed. It's no longer a growth community. It's not like a commercial industrial growth community.
But,
And I don't think that people really want that. They want to come here to live. They don't want to come here to work.
More in residential type things than
Commercial residential. You're not gonna stop farming. Farming's gonna do whatever they want.
well, I think that if we're gonna have an ag district, we should do things to promote farming, right? I mean, I
Well,
guess I just don't understand. Are you saying that people want to have,
we're
What?
obligated to protect the agriculture that
oh,
we have. I mean,
absolutely,
that,
absolutely. I'm not saying that we're not. I'm not saying, oh, yeah, come on, let everything. I'm not
Right,
saying
no,
I'm
I'm
for or
not-
against it.
right.
I'm not even saying I agree with it.
right,
I'm just saying, I think we just need to do our due diligence and listen
and I
and
think that
get
more
information.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because if we're gonna regulate stuff, we need to know, like, what could go wrong? So, to me, that's where you would start your thinking from. Okay, if you allowed this, what could be the bad thing that could happen, and how do you stop that from happening with your regulations? Which is why you have sewage regulations, well setbacks, all those kind of things.
and I think conversely, you should say, if we allow that, what good things can happen in the community? Or how can the constituents be better served by some of those things too? I don't think that we should lead out of a fear that people are going to ruin everything, or, you know what I mean? That's not how I think. So, I don't think, but I do think that we need to get more information. Because some of these things were set down a long time ago, and I just think it should be, we should get the information and then vote on it.
And then make our decision.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably kind of silly to say, but it's been in the zoning ordinance for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I don't know the last time someone came forth with an application.
Right.
So sometimes it's like, okay, we're gonna allow an accessory building without a dwelling. And people think we're gonna get 100 applications tomorrow for accessory buildings without that as well. It doesn't really work that way. It's already been in the ordinance for a very long time, and we don't have any, so.
And I don't, maybe people, I doubt people read them. They just, most likely, they assume they can't do it.
Well, a lot of them just do what they want
They
to.
just do
Right.
it,
So,
yeah.
Well, that's my concern, is, this is all great, I think it all needs to be tightened up and be on the books, but where's the enforcement for the people that just disregard it all and do it anyway? I mean, what
Well,
we're doing means
the board
nothing
is
if
trying
you,
to work on
Yeah.
that, yeah.
it means nothing what we're doing unless
I agree with
it's
you
enforced.
100%.
So I think, and, I mean, I don't know if you guys agree, I think our task as the, planning commission is to make the ordinances as direct and easy to follow as
Clear.
possible, so that enforcement,
A clear directive.
right, so that enforcement is a pretty cut and dry issue.
I agree.
And that people, because if no one ever feels like they can figure out what the heck is going on, you're not gonna get people to move in residentially, because people wanna know, I can do this, I can't, wait a minute, do I have to here, no, wait a minute, I can't do that?
Yeah,
That's
but
where
they
you
also
get
wanna
people
know-
doing whatever they
They
want.
also wanna know that their home is still gonna be their home.
Absolutely.
There's not gonna be.
I mean, I'm a constituent here, I don't want a bar moving in next door to me, because I'm not, it's zoned commercial, so I get that. It's not like I,
Depends if they're gonna serve me free drinks or not.
yeah, if I get free drinks,
And,
so.
and also, we wanna know, is it a benefit to the community? Is it a burden to
Right,
the community?
Yeah.
Is it gonna cause an extra need for enforcement that we don't have the capacity to do? Things like
exactly.
that.
Yeah, those are the things that we
Are
need
they
to know.
gonna tear up our roads? Like the gravel mining thing, I've been preaching to everyone, and I bet not one person has ever yet told Nesbit or whoever else, we don't want it. To where they're gonna take, there's a bill out there and, okay,
That
so.
they can mine gravel wherever?
Yeah, that will take away all local control, all of it.
Well, that's not cool.
So I wanna read through some of the master plan survey results. For commercial development, we'd like to see increased commercial development, especially along County Road 388. You had 75% of respondents wanted increased commercial development. Increased commercial development in general, you had 61%. Tourism, would like to see growth as a tourist destination. You have 66% that want to see growth in tourism.
Nobody ever asked the question, would you like a commercial business next to your house? That question was never asked. Because I probably answered some of those questions, yes, I would like to see commercial business. But if somebody were to ask, would you like to see commercial business next to your house, I'll bet you would get a different response.
Why we have a zoning overlay of commercial.
388, yeah.
Would like to see economic growth stimulated by encouraging businesses related to tourism. 72%. Would like to see economic development through both commercial and residential uses.
I don't even remember half those questions.
93%.
Oh, yeah, I do remember.
I remember reading some of that.
93%. Would like to see greater diversity in business growth. 83%.
Well, some of those things, we can't
Yeah.
do.
Right,
You
I
can
know,
only
I'm
know
just
so
saying
much.
that that's-
Right.
Would like to see growth in these areas of the township. Commercially zoned, currently zoned commercial districts, 83% growth, I can't read the rest of them. Things that they would like, wineries, coffee shops, bars, restaurants, retail shops, marijuana provision out there. They want more locally owned businesses, 85%.
So that's kind of dealing with the commercial, which is, has been, the overlay's been down 388, but I do think that we should talk to some farmers and get even a group of them and find out if that is something that would serve the community or not. me, 'cause I don't farm, so. But I live in the country for a reason. And,
Yeah.
you know, so I
Like
get it.
the rest of us,
you know,
right.
I know I might be playing devil's advocate on some of these things, but it's not because I have any particular, like, I want that or I don't want that. It's because it's our job. It's our job.
Right.
It's what we're here for. So, can we have them?
We did ask, businesses intermixed with residential. 37% did not care. 45% wanted some regulation, and 41% didn't care about regulations at all.
And that's out of how many responses? 125?
136.
136. So again, you know, even our, we have to do the best we can do, because even our, surveys, there, only a handful
Right.
answered them, and.
Right.
That's, so,
Yeah.
do our due diligence.
And then duke it out.
So we should get back to reality.
Yeah. So is that something that we could set up for our next one? Okay. That would be great.
I would say a couple farmers, don't you think?
I would say
more than one,
more than one, like 3. It's good to have an odd number.
As many as I can, and see how many will come in.
And if they won't come in, can we pose some questions to them?
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe they don't have time to come in, but they can answer
Yeah,
an
'cause
email.
it is.
Yeah, it is
It's
farming
farming
season.
season.
But July is.
You know,
But I mean, I think,
do you need a brine well? Do you have a brine well?
yeah, can someone explain to us what it does and why it would be there and all that? But I do think if you know, just say, we wanna do what's best for the community and we need information.
My question goes back to, is there more than one kind of brine well? I mean, you know.
But
It's
in there for a reason,
Oil,
Right,
so we
right?
need
right.
It
to
said
know what
oil
that
and
reason
brine
is.
well, so.
Exactly, I agree, Anita. It's
I
in there
thought
for a
that's
reason.
what it
It's
said.
been in there since the 50s, you have to keep
Yeah,
that in mind.
right.
Right, so maybe it's
It's an artifact.
kinda like payphone.
Yeah. But we should know, so, okay. I think that was and then it was the minimum dwelling size. Did we come up with something on that?
The minimum square footage
Yes.
of dwelling.
14,
600 square feet.
yes,
That was at our March meeting.
yes, okay. So do we need to revisit that, or is everybody, are we?
So when we get to the minimum dwelling size and supplementals, then we will go over all again.
Okay, cool.
But I made note that we penciled in that number.
Yes, okay, so we are gonna get to that.
Yes.
Okay, good. I thought we were, but
Because that was
I don't
just a
know. There's a lot
discussion,
of-
that wasn't a
hands up down.
decision.
So, it was a discussion,
Right,
correct?
Okay.
right.
We had discussed it at more than one meeting, and we decided to just pencil in that.
Because so that wasn't one of the board recommendations to change that. They were recommending putting
the
it
old
in
flat.
that, in the old, right.
Yeah. So, one of the emails that came that I directed them to, Beth, was, the person was wondering if there were assisted living or elder care facilities, and I thought, I don't think I've seen anything in a provision, like in the daycare or the,
I thought that was by
Mentioned
right,
somewhere.
certain ones that were permitted by right.
but that would be, probably it would be a residential assisted living that there's,
So, the person that you talked to, I spoke to as well,
okay,
and they were not looking for adult foster care home type situation, they were looking for a residential
yeah.
center, that's what they were looking for information on. And it was some survey thing.
Okay. But that got me thinking, is there any is there a provision for it in our township? What would it be under?
Adult foster care is,
But a residential,
So, commercial type, we have a hospital clinic, sanitary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that would
that's
fall
what I'm
under
looking
that, or and similar structures, okay.
Like maybe they could have taken the
Convalescent
school
home.
building
And made it
converted
into an assisted elder
Yeah.
care thing.
So it
We'll
would
just
fall
double
under
check that.
the
Would have been good, yeah.
Similar
Yeah, maybe
structures
that is
designed
cool.
for human care.
Used to be farther away from the
Yeah.
church. Okay, so there is that type of provision in there, okay. Those were the only things that I had questions about. Thank you for letting me ask those questions.
There are special use provisions for that.
Okay,
2 acres, unpaved road.
and that's in the 12, in the special uses?
Whatever
Okay,
special use provision section is.
all right, thank you. I'm still trying to learn how to navigate my way around it all.
So that is, residential
Special land
assisted,
uses is Article 14.
14, okay. I was just talking about, I was just asking about if we had like an adult residential, like assisted living, elderly residential, yeah, there are special land uses on that. Okay. All right, okay, cool.
and they must do it in a building, not tents, correct?
There's a story there, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so, are we ready to go to, all right.
Where are we going?
We're going to,
Section 8 or
Section
back to 4?
8. Is that, are we ready?
So the commercial district, kind of get back to that, so the road, the old, golf course, and then the junkyard, and then a few things up here.
So North Lake Inn, I see, is,
What is it?
what are we
Yeah,
talking about?
page 43
District.
in
And
your,
then, so we have a little bit in town
in
that's
this
actually
book
zoned
here, I
commercial.
think.
So, and then we'll have our overlay, zone 388,
Uh-huh.
which will be,
Are we on page 43?
Yes.
Okay.
which is a whole other topic. So it's just an idea of commercial. But be clear that this is commercial.
Commercial uses are intended.
Yes.
blah, blah, blah.
Article 8.
The commercial overlay will be a
Yours
different
looks
district
different.
that we have to,
Come up with zoning
Yours looks different.
for, correct? That's because he's not
Richard
on
doesn't
this
have the
one.
most current,
Do you have the one that is, that was,
revised February 9th.
Well, I've got highlights,
Right.
red, I got yellow and
Right.
red in here.
no, do you have,
That's in the master plan, if you're looking for the map.
right, the maps and the maps, he wasn't here, this, the one that says revised May 11th. Chrissy will print it out for you.
In the meantime, we can share. This is what we're
Oh.
going over this.
No, I think he's talking about this page, he's
Oh,
talking
okay.
about this, yeah.
And is it,
Page 43 in that one.
but are they
Oh.
on the links?
No,
No.
no, those are ones that we'll go back to.
Oh,
We're going through sections 8 through 11.
okay. Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay.
Dance hall.
Okay, so, where do we just wanna start by the purpose? Does anybody have anything with the purpose? Tasha, do you see anything that,
I'm just gonna read it
Okay.
real quick.
I like it. I thought the purpose was good.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, this ordinance is. The few person, boy, she is so lucky.
She's stepping into a
So,
neat program.
She said she's tough, so.
by right, and then A, we'll remove principal permitted uses because that's already listed.
Okay.
And then it will then say,
Oh, I see what you're
land
saying.
buildings or structures in the zoning district may be
Okay.
used for the following purposes only.
Oh, so
Gotcha.
we're gonna totally remove no land shall be used thereafter, no
Okay.
building, blah, blah, blah.
And that
That
should become
sentence.
that should become 8.02A,
Yeah.
and then A should become B.
No. The numbers
Purpose
under A
Oh, the
will
numbers,
say
okay,
the
okay.
words
Purpose won't be
permitted,
lettered at all.
principal
Okay,
permitted.
correct.
got it,
Remove
sorry.
A. And then the wording will change slightly.
Yeah, the wording will then say, so it will they'll all be the same.
Okay,
Land, buildings, or structures in the zoning district may be used for the following purposes only.
okay.
Okay,
So this is gonna get struck through.
So that'll just be gone, and then, so the intent will end at
commercial areas, okay.
Site plan. Probably remove that, that's just land on there.
Okay, hang on, what page am I looking at? Okay.
Site plan shall be submitted for all commercial use pursuant.
Yeah, I was
Well,
wondering
they
where,
isn't that like a given for all of them?
Correct.
Okay, so
Okay.
remove that.
In the site plan review section, it specifically will say
for commercial,
all commercial uses,
okay,
so.
so we can strike that from the, okay,
So then basically, so, again, the permitted by right is, because this is commercial, they all go through site plan review. So you will see every application for a use in this particular A. So
Okay.
1 through 8, there'll be a site plan that they submit and they come to you for site plan approval.
okay,
It's not a public hearing, it's just a regular site plan review.
okay.
So, store, showroom,
Do we need to list all of these things?
no, I suggest.
Because
having
when
it
you
just
list-
say retail business,
Yeah.
you could just say retail.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I would just say
it
retail.
almost implies that you're excluding certain others when you name
I agree.
certain ones.
Well, because on this one thing I thought, well, it says professional offices, but I'm like, what about doctor's offices?
So A, I'm suggesting
They are professionals.
Yeah.
retail,
Hopefully.
And just make it retail?
have it just say retail.
Retail.
correct.
Okay. And what about what it says, when conducted within buildings having a roof and 4 sidewalls? I mean, seriously, is that necessary?
Well, maybe they don't want it done in a tent.
Apparently there's a story there.
Yeah, there's gotta be
No,
a
I'm
backstory.
just,
Again.
no.
I'm thinking like
Think
Feast of the
But
fireworks.
then,
Tabernacles
so with
Oh,
that,
yeah.
a
Think
food
fireworks.
truck?
Yeah, that's
They
a
do
tent.
those.
Oh, but a
Oh,
food
they do
truck
them in
would be
tents,
like
okay.
they would, that's a roving thing.
Correct, that's something else that you would wanna put in the supplemental provision.
Food trucks?
Yeah.
Correct, if that's something you would like to do. The fireworks would be a perfect example of temporary uses that you would put somewhere.
They have time limitations. Okay.
Oh.
So should we
Okay.
remove retail, and do we need to leave the roof and 4 walls?
I think we should remove that.
Okay. So we're just gonna say retail?
Retail business?
Yep,
So, are we at number 1?
Yeah.
And we're just gonna say retail business,
And that's it.
Do you wanna leave generally recognized?
I would say that.
Would you?
I like that,
Yeah?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I like
that
those
gives
words.
us a little bit of control
Well, yeah, that's true.
while we leaving it wide open.
Yeah.
Generally
You
recognized.
could say you are not generally rejected.
Generally recognized retail business, well,
I've never heard of it, you're out.
Yeah.
Generally recognized
Someone could
retail
be-
business. Okay.
giving lap dances, that's not a generally retail,
Oh, I think it
generally
is.
recognized.
Well.
Depends on where you're from.
It's that bar that's gonna
Where I'm
move in next
from,
to
it
his
was.
house and giving him drinks.
So
Hey,
retail is,
bonus.
get used in the building code, so.
Oh, okay.
Retail is a building code, so whatever is a retail under that use group versus M for mercantile would be a retail. Kosher fish shop, I would think would be a barber shop, beauty, it says such as.
Such as barbershops, beauty parlors, shoe repairs, that's funny. Laundry, dry cleaning, would that be professional offices, I guess that would include doctor's offices or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we wanna leave that?
Office to me is not a service shop.
What is it?
I would call that something else.
What,
A professional office?
Professional office is not a
Service
what if
shop,
they're an
right.
accountant? That's a service?
Can we put that in as another number and
What
just
if
say
they're a
professional?
tax preparer? That's a
So,
service?
I think we should add medical as another one.
Okay.
Because that's really not in here.
Okay, so are you gonna put professional offices somewhere else? Because like.
We could do personal service
Cause like
or
that,
professional offices and then do medical in another number, right?
Yeah, 'cause I don't think you should get rid of the professional.
I don't think
no,
so either.
because
I
that's
agree.
like a counselor or something.
Yeah.
And then add another
Right,
for medical and or dental office.
okay.
These are just copies from us.
Okay. I have so many papers.
This is what Tasha emailed us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is where we're at, right? 42.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Right, what I emailed and then
Here's some of this,
you put
if you wanna see what we scratched out, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
I keep-
okay.
I keep track of my head.
Yeah, okay.
So it goes right in there. Perfect. Okay, so should we say personal service shop, professional offices? Do you wanna list, barbershops, beauty parlors, shoe repair, laundry and dry cleaning? I mean, do we, such as, do we,
I think it's fine.
okay.
It's a little wordy, but
I don't even know who repairs shoes. I can't even find a
What it should-
shoe repair shop
We just
anymore.
put, yeah, right, there is one in Kalamazoo and they're quite good.
Okay.
I just buy more
By the
shoes.
mall.
I know, I
They
usually do
imported.
too, but I have a pair that I really like. Yeah. No.
So
I
the-
think dressmaking and millinery,
Yeah, that's kind of,
millinery, a
What's
little
that?
bit,
What is that?
hat making.
yeah. And banks,
They used to use lead in hat making, that's why it was called Mad Hatter's disease.
undertaking establishments,
that.
public utility buildings, and publicly owned buildings.
Right.
That,
Well, I mean,
publicly owned buildings, why is that even there?
What is
I
that?
don't know. Tasha,
This is a publicly owned building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't think we have to be in a commercial district.
right? So, number 3, where it says banks, dressmaking, millinery.
those are all retail businesses.
Yeah.
I suggest that they are
Just
Struck from that.
strike the whole thing.
Photographic studio,
Yeah, that would be, wouldn't that be a retail
That's a
business?
yeah.
service.
What about undertaking? This was written in the 1800s, people.
Oh, it's some undertaking, right?
It is, I mean, does that go, that's fine, but does that go there? Or does that's not really considered retail, is it?
Well, they're not giving you the wholesale price. If it's not wholesale, it's retail.
Selling those caskets, you know, like.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
awesome.
would be a service, that would be a personal, that would be a service.
A service?
So, is usually that part of a funeral home? What if we just added a
Funeral home to that.
instead of undertaking establishment?
Okay.
It would just be called a funeral home.
Would you put it in 3 or would you put it up in 2 under service shop?
A service. It's a service. Undertaking is a service.
So I'm gonna eliminate banks, dressmaking, millinery, photographic studios, so those are all number 1.
Yeah,
Right,
So number 3 could be funeral home,
okay.
okay.
and then
Public building,
public utility buildings would be another line.
okay. All right. And then this would public,
Publicly owned
whatever,
building.
4. Then we just
Public
move it down.
utility buildings would be number 4,
Okay,
Oh,
or no, I'm sorry,
yeah,
I forgot. So after number 2, we're adding
we're already adding
Medical, dental.
in dental
and dental, so that'll be number 3, I'm sorry. So number 4,
is
funeral home.
funeral home.
4 is funeral homes, 3 is medical.
And number 5 will be public utility buildings,
6 would be community clubs, that kind of organization.
Yeah, does that belong here?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Because you
This is
probably
like
want them in your,
assembly type of thing, this is definitely a commercial,
Okay.
Yeah.
a commercial thing, so this would be a very good fit for,
Okay.
this is an assembly. Or
And
health
then-
club or
Right.
something like
Right.
that.
And then the gasoline
Gasoline,
and oil would be 7?
Yeah.
And I noticed they said it should not be a junkyard. Which I like.
So we have a lot of things. So gasoline and oil service station, or I guess some people call it a service garage. We could maybe eliminate the word garage, because it's in a station, a garage.
I would say a service garage and a car fix. And a gas
Well,
station.
This calls it an oil service station.
That to me is just
You
like,
used to call gas station service
Service
stations,
station.
because they pumped your gas and washed your windshield. That's no
Check
longer
your oil.
the, you know.
yeah, that's true.
Now it's a gas station,
Okay, so
and how about an
Maybe-
auto repair garage?
Maybe get rid of oil
what if we did, yes?
and just say service stations, get rid of garage.
Or gasoline,
Gasoline,
gasoline
well, an
station.
oil service station is like a Jiffy Lube.
Gasoline station, service garage. What about diesel?
It's a type of gasoline, isn't it?
Fuel, we have to call it fuel.
Fuel, what about a fuel station? Cause it could be electric fuel.
Because it has diesel. We have to stop for fuel.
Okay, fuel station.
Fuel stations, service,
Garage.
okay.
The used car lot should be somewhere else.
what went
Yeah.
before
Wouldn't that
garage?
be under retail? No.
That would be something separate.
Why wouldn't that be
Okay.
retail? It's its own thing? Like landscaping?
So it is,
It's similar to landscaping?
so it is a retail, you're correct, but it's a different type, you need different licenses
Okay.
for auto sales,
Okay.
so there's
Hmm.
more things that kinda go with that.
So is that another number? We just need to separate it out?
That's my thought.
Okay, that's fine.
But it would be just a car lot, auto sales in general.
Okay, auto sales, okay, but not storage.
I'm thinking that there are service garages who fix cars sometimes and then they need to sell them. I think that might have been the intent, so you have one place, you have gas, and then you have your station, and then you also can sell a few cars.
So you're
There's
thinking
a
this
lot of
should
things.
all be,
Like in
Still-
Geneva, there's a guy there who has
Yeah,
at
there's a
his
lot of
home,
things going on.
auto
However,
repair and auto. They're on zone.
Right, so we could have as many numbers as we would like.
but those could all be combined. Those could stay in one number. Do you think? Or
Do you think
are you
it's-
suggesting they get
I think
separated?
the car lot, the car sales should be separated.
Okay. And it shouldn't be put in retail, it should be car
Its
sales,
own
because it
thing.
takes its own licenses, okay, yeah.
It should
That's
say
number
auto
8.
sales, not
Used cars.
Auto sales. So, we've got fuel stations,
Fuel and
repair
service
garages.
stations.
Is that,
Service
what
garage.
was the
Service
word we
garage.
used?
Fuel station,
Service garage, and then we have auto,
Auto
Service
sales.
garages. And, but the auto sales is moved to its own thing, so that would be
Number
8, auto sales.
like, you can't take the car, assemble it,
part it
and
out
sell
and
the
sell
parts,
it.
right, yeah. Part it out, thank you.
I like that.
That's what you can't do. Can we leave that in auto sales, in the same
Well,
line?
I'm guessing if, I'm debating on whether if this be removed.
Yeah.
So there's a fuel station and a service garage, servicing the garage, or
The car.
the car. it in there, just to be specific, I'm not sure. I put a question mark, you can maybe come back to the rest.
It's funny that they've got all this wording, the very thing in here famously have down the road. But not autos, all engine. Oh, no, it is autos, they do have a junkyard there, on the trail down there.
Oh, okay.
Since we're gonna have our rear end sign ordinance,
Yes, that's what I thought. Outdoor signs should be removed.
move to the new
To the sign,
ordinance.
yeah.
So number 9 means, if there is an existing family or existing dwelling in the commercial district, it is,
It can stay there.
it's conforming, but you cannot build a new one in the commercial.
Wait, so we've got 7 and 8 original, and those are being changed to what? Existing single-family
We're-
detached dwelling.
We're leaving
Would be
that.
number
We're
nine.
Means you
leaving
can keep it in the district, but you can't build a new one.
I think it would then be some number 8,
9, we're up to
Nine.
number 9.
right, but we're removing 8. So number 9,
We're removing single-family dwellings attached to,
no,
no.
that's the one we're on right now. I was just explaining what it meant.
So existing
Well, you said we were.
single-family
removing
detached dwelling, that stays. Okay, so
I was
now,
talking about the sign, number 8.
okay, I thought you moved on to the next one.
I did,
Okay.
but I never said anything about.
Oh, the sign is our number 8, no, and here
Number
it's 6.
Well, I would just go by what the words say, because the numbers are all changed.
Right,
We've added some and we've removed some,
Yeah.
but I
Okay.
don't know exactly what number.
So, single-family dwellings attached to commercial use on the second floor or to the rear of the building. That stays too.
I fully believe it should.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I would want it to say, commercial use on the second floor or to the rear of the building.
and this is because our commercial district is understood as an overlay, because it's a mixed use, correct?
So, the overlay district in Grand Junction is a totally different section with totally different rules and provisions.
So where is our only commercial
Yeah.
area?
That's what she was talking about earlier.
Just
The
those
red.
little
There, those red.
Commercial.
So these are the commercial district.
The red.
Yep.
The places that are already commercial. So in Grand Junction, it's not zoned commercial in the town, it's zoned R2, or R1, I mean,
Residential.
except for a few of them.
Except for,
Okay, so I thought we had a commercial overlay, which made it a mixed use.
We do, and that's.
right.
We have to
we're not
write a
in
new,
that section
But the
yet.
commercial overlay
Oh.
is its own section. We have to do
haven't
that
made
differently.
one yet.
Yeah.
So,
So we have a commercial section that has homes there, and
Uh-huh.
they can't put a new home there, that's why, what you just said.
correct. Most commercial districts don't allow single family homes.
But we're just saying they don't have to tear down the ones they have already.
Right.
Which is probably good.
Mine nice,
Well,
though.
it might. Some of them. What?
I'm just laughing. Number B, permitted accessory uses, number 1 is the same thing as
I know.
number B.
And
That
shouldn't that
goes
be
to the
moved to the
sign.
sign, special use sign?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got that right, 'cause I had a question on that. Look at, I'm learning something.
And then number 2 will be moved
To
to
The accessory,
accessory building.
okay.
Correct. So A.
Okay, special uses.
So, where it says use is permitted by special use, it will be, as the other districts, it will then say, the following uses shall be allowed when determined to be in conformance with the provisions of section, whatever our special land use section will be, 14, as applicable.
And we were removing, B also, right, in the previous section, because that doesn't
Mhm.
apply.
Correct.
Correct. special use, so outdoor theaters, dance halls, recreational halls, and other enterprises of recreation and amusement.
There's a former dance hall down the road by me. It was there when they were doing stagecoaches out here.
Oh, that's
They would
cool.
stop there at that house, and the second to upstairs was considered a dance hall.
Oh, that's
It
cool.
probably wasn't, small area.
That's neat. Cool. That's cool history. Tasha, what are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at number 3, sorry.
Number 3, establishments,
Establishments located within buildings. What?
aren't they supposed to be? Isn't it okay.
Like Starbucks inside Target?
Oh, yeah, that's what that would be. I doubt they knew that back then, though.
We don't have a Target out here.
I know.
We don't have any businesses big enough to have a business inside of them.
Alteration, finishing, assembling, fabrication. So,
What number are you on?
well, I'm on 1. Are we leaving 1? Okay.
Those are very good
Yeah.
things to have in a commercial district.
Okay. 2, sale and servicing of agricultural machinery, lumberyards, warehouses. That should stay. Correct?
Say, but they're 3 different things, so
Right.
I think they should be 3 different things.
3 different things, okay. Yeah, because I don't see how those go together. So that should be 3 and 4. And then the establishment located within buildings for the repair, alteration, finishing, assembling, fabrication, or storage of goods primarily for local and retail sales. What would that be?
Wow, that's really complicated.
Yeah, I don't
It's complicated.
understand it either.
Retail alteration, it's like a machine shop.
Oh,
That's kind of what, so
Okay.
repair could maybe be auto repair, small engine repair, alteration could be.
For storage of goods
But we've talked
primarily
about
for
auto
local and
repair
retail
up
sales.
top.
I thought warehouse.
Establishments located within buildings for the repair, alteration, finishing, assembling, fabrication, or storage. Those don't belong together.
no.
Correct, so, they all sound like warehouse.
And like a machine shop, would that be in the industrial, or would that just be commercial?
So I kinda like,
In Bangor, they're in the downtown, but they're small.
right, so repair, alteration, finishing, assembly, fabrication, typically are more of an industrial type of thing, but we don't have an a real industrial district.
Right.
So maybe we could come up with some sort of, like a that'd be like a perfect example, a welding shop,
Yeah.
something, some sort of shop.
To actually say that in there, like,
I don't know what exactly I would call it, but
A job shop,
sort of.
manufacturing.
Light industry, light industry.
yeah.
Okay.
Such as welding,
So in Waverly Township, I did
occasionally,
I did the same thing, that's what it was, but light industrial,
Yeah,
and then we had a definition, so we went to the definition.
that would be good.
And that's when it said uses similar
Okay.
to whatever, and then that's where we would put.
So we need to put a definition of what light industrial is.
That's kind of what we're gonna go with, yes.
Yeah, okay, I like that. That sounds reasonable.
Hotel, motel, bed and breakfast is not a hotel, motel. So,
should be.
so a bed and breakfast is a single family home, so if we aren't allowing single family homes really in the commercial district,
We don't have to put that in
I feel
there.
that should be removed.
Yeah.
So which one are
Unless
we
it's
removing?
existing.
Bed and breakfast or just hotel,
What about it?
Just-
But what if it's in an existing home? And somebody wants to do that? Okay, okay.
My husband says it just like that.
Obviously, you're triggering her.
I guess so.
We did
Is that
have
not
bed
a
and
good
breakfast
thing, or-
somewhere.
Yeah, we did have bed and breakfast in our residential
Yeah.
district.
Right.
So, the thing with that is, you're kind of trying to eliminate single but I'm not opposed to businesses in the commercial. But they should be two different things.
So hotels, motels would be their own category?
And then a bed and breakfast, another one.
Okay.
Right, right.
And then attached dwelling, did I? Didn't we already go over that somewhere? Wasn't that already
No,
covered?
I'm good.
That's the last one on the uses
I
by
wouldn't
right.
tell you.
So if we're allowing it by right, then
But
it
you
should
can
not be
take
a
a
special
picture.
use.
Trust no
Or it
one.
should really be a special use and not by right. Either or. Pick where you like it.
I'm sorry, I was worried about getting ink on my nose.
The attached dwelling,
I
So
apologize.
on ordinance number 6.
Yeah, so attached dwelling, what,
So we
we already covered that, didn't we?
Yes.
Well, then let's get rid of that, right?
So do you want it to be an allowed use by right or a special use?
Oh. I'd say it
Well,
would be allowed use by right, wouldn't it?
I would say that they're probably already
There.
there.
Yeah.
But we don't want them to build one.
Dwelling? Oh, so we already actually allow it right here.
Yeah.
Family dwelling attached to a commercial use.
But
So-
isn't that if it's already there?
If it's allowed by right, they still have to meet certain requirements.
I wrote that
Special use provisions for the attached dwelling.
I'm sorry, what did you say? Repeat that. You're talking
It's a special use.
zoning administrator ease.
Provision for it.
Okay.
Right, so we don't need to put that one in there.
You need to decide if you want it to be allowed by right through just site plan review or as a special use.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I mean, if it's special use, then you could, I was gonna say prevent someone from having a hazardous, situation where they're gonna accidentally kill themselves, but I don't know how we prevent that
I
anyway.
don't think that's our job.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'd have to have, right.
Like
Right.
a auto repair garage where they're,
Where they have dirty rags.
but
stuff
the
in it.
fumes, you know, that's.
So what does everybody think? I mean, should we just do
I think it's already there.
you're right, it's already there. Do we wanna make it a
Oh, do we
special
wanna
use?
move it? Or-
Right, do we wanna make it a special use, or do we wanna say, by right, because you have that
It's in
building,
both places right
you
now.
can have a single-family dwelling attached on the second floor or at the rear of the building, or do we wanna say you have to get a special use?
Okay, so right, if there's a building, they can take the second floor and make it
Right,
a home.
and live above their store, if they want,
Or add it to the back.
or at
Can
the back,
they build on the back of a commercial building? With what we have it,
the way it's written right now.
They can
Or
do
they
that.
can put it on the
They just
second
have to
floor.
come for site plan review, but yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Without any extra provision, they have to meet the regular setback.
But this
Right.
is not the overlay, this is the
The
straight
commercial.
up
This is straight up
commercial,
commercial
and we're
district.
trying to discourage residential, so I would think that we would wanna do it by, special use.
So, I kinda take back what I said before, we're discouraging single-family homes, but if you have a mixed use, you want mom and pa to be able to live at their store and not have to move somewhere else.
Okay, so I'm confused, yes, that's exactly what I thought the overlay was in Grand Junction, the mixed use, so this
You are
is,
correct, but
okay.
this is different.
But wouldn't that be confusing if we say you have to get a special use permit, but the overlay says that you can do it? Doesn't that kind of make it a little bit confusing?
We're talking about two different things.
Right.
This isn't the overlay.
The overlay
Okay.
district is a residential district, so you're
Okay.
allowing commercial uses in a residential district in the overlay. But this is strictly already commercial.
And just to look at things from a construction perspective, remember there's two different levels of code. So if you allow by right, for instance, someone to live in a commercial home or a commercial building by right, it's going to be harder to ensure that they're building things to
Residential
correct
code,
Whereas if it's special
special
use,
use.
then it's noticeable.
thought process is, you're in a commercial district, commercial uses should be allowed by right, and then this is a dwelling thing, so
So they would come and say,
Special
we'd like a
use.
I know
special
it's a
use.
special use too, yeah.
That makes sense, yeah, okay.
So
So,
we're taking
we're taking,
number 10 off.
yeah, we're taking single-family dwelling attached in section 8.02.
And it will pay a
Okay.
special use.
try not to make it complicated. But just so you know, under the building code, they would have to sprinkle the building with fire sprinkling, if you have a mixed-use building, that
Mhm.
way. They can do it, but that's still up to them.
So we need to fix the wording, not just attached dwelling, so we need to take the wording from the previous section, right? Single-family dwellings attached to commercial use
Well,
in the
it's,
second floor.
attached dwelling is an attached dwelling. I don't know that it.
Okay, we don't have to say it's on the second floor or it's at the rear.
No, cause you're.
But it's
it's
not
an attached
necessarily
dwelling.
attached, couldn't it just be a big giant room like when they turned that part into,
That would still be considered attached, wouldn't it?
they considered
Yeah,
attached?
okay.
Attached to
Okay,
the
Okay.
So you could
it's within,
connected.
convert
yes,
an existing area
Mhm.
to a dwelling or physically construct.
Okay. One accessory building no larger than 700, just shouldn't that go into the accessory?
additional accessory buildings, right below it. Well, this says
Figure out
one.
Why this is a thing.
So number 7 is
So,
one accessory
I don't know if
building,
they
and then
knew
the
why
next
it was
one
the
is
thing.
additional.
I know Mike had the restaurant, he put that building up there.
So he's in the overlay.
Would he have, oh,
And he did get, he actually got.
A special use.
well, that's what I was gonna say, he had to get a,
I'm trying to think of some other build, like, I helped a commercial organization once, and they had, they needed to do theirs on other people's larger equipment. So they had a separate building that they could do that stuff inside of instead of their retail store.
so
Okay.
what they're actually doing is making
So
the
number-
minimum square foot smaller.
So number 7 means,
Question.
let's say $200, I think they're actually zoned commercial. If they wanna add like a building for their lawn mowing equipment, as an example, that building can't be larger than 720 square feet. So this is specific to the commercial district, so I think this should stay in.
Yeah, I agree.
However, it should not be a special land use.
It should be a right by right.
It would be more of a right. Or we might just add some, I'm not sure. Number 7,
Move it to permitted by right.
yeah, not a special use, so. Yeah, so it'd be if you had an existing use of sorts, and then they needed an accessory building. For the specific, like storage, a garage, or something specific for them. Correct. That building can't be larger than 720. I don't know where or why that number is, so.
Isn't that a strange number? What is 700, what is it, how big is the 720 square?
24 by 30?
30?
I've heard that number before, I don't know why it's
So have I.
there, but it's there. I think it's
The minimum
14 by
dwelling.
60. I think it's the mobile home size, actually.
Okay.
I think it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's not,
20 foot. what'd you say?
720 square feet's not really gonna give you much room to,
But we're talking about an accessory storage building, so
yeah.
it's probably big enough. We don't want them to be huge.
A you know, a typical
24 by
would be
30.
like maybe a 30 by 40,
Mhm.
and that's 1,200 square feet.
But they have to meet the proper setbacks and
Yeah,
stuff,
they
right?
still
So,
Yeah, I'm just not sure where the random number comes from.
I'm thinking, I'm just off the top of my head, because this number 720 sounds familiar. Is that the size of, a mobile home? 14 by 60? Something like that?
Yeah, but why would you have?
I don't know, I wasn't around, so I have no
it's not
idea.
14 by 60.
I don't know where any of this came from.
14 by 60 is 840 square feet.
Okay, so it's
So
not
12
that.
by,
That's 12 by 60.
720. 12 by 60 is 720. I should've been able to figure
And
that.
14 is the older mobile homes, Tasha?
Yes.
That's where it came from then, 12 by 60, right?
So, basically what they're saying there is you can have an accessory building that's a mobile home?
No, they just put that size out there for some, but I'm thinking that's where that size came from somehow,
So you
that random number.
Maybe, what, like a box car,
I just pulled up commercial, it had to be built commercial standards.
Uh-huh.
I just pulled up commercial whole, buildings on the NARS website. And,
what's like a box car, you know, a train car thing that
Yeah.
people convert into?
Oh, Lord.
Like a storage container?
like 8 by 40, yeah, but those are.
Yeah, are those
Put
supposed
it
to?
on
But I mean, I'm wondering
setback?
about the size.
That's 8 by 40 is 320.
Do we allow those right next to the road, anywhere in our ordinance? I didn't think so.
What?
There's a new one by
A
me,
storage
right next to the
container?
road, yeah. Yeah,
Is it a pod, like they're gonna move it?
no, it says Casa. It's gonna be somebody's,
Pretty.
Somebody's home.
Maybe they're gonna make it something cool though.
My nephew,
no.
he turned it
You'll have to
into,
take a tour over here.
Okay.
There's nothing cool there. Nothing.
Because I've seen some of those storage container homes and they are
Oh, sure.
incredible.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta put money into
If you
them.
want it, right. Even if they're your shed, in the back of the house,
not by the road.
different than right next to the road. And then you start putting additions on it,
Oh.
it's like, that's what we're up against, so we'll see how that goes.
Did you come up with a size? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I know.
Trying to get you the right spot here in the search. I wanna give you the smallest commercial kit.
Yeah, and I have to make a, comment because I told my sister that this meeting was about 2 hours.
Yeah, okay.
And I wanna go see her before she has to go to
We'll
bed.
still have a quorum.
So if we're not close to being done, I'm gonna excuse myself for the rest of the meeting. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So we're
thank
not
you.
supposed to be in
I'll see you guys next.
And I hope.
We can decide to be, we can finish this
We're
and
supposed to have an MRI tonight so they can figure out exactly what it is.
we'll just finish this one up tonight.
Absolute smallest,
Okay, thank you.
24
Some
by
bags for you.
That's the
Richard,
smallest
I'm
commercial kit.
Drive
For you.
careful.
I'm sorry,
Well,
it's how
not
much?
going far, so.
24 by 32.
24 by 32.
768.
That's the absolute smallest commercial kit.
Okay, so maybe we should change that size? Tasha, you're going like that. Do you mean no, or do you mean yes, or?
I don't know. I think it's just a weird number.
Mhm. Well, what's our accessory building?
My pile. Okay, good night.
Good night.
Hi, Richard.
The accessory building is what?
It's based on the size of your property.
Right,
It goes to the
right.
chart,
Go into the chart, and it says accessory building size.
so two acres and less, you
Uh-huh.
get 1,280 square feet.
So why don't we just use that size? Or why don't we just take that out and say, see the chart?
Oh.
Can we do that? Okay, is everybody good with that?
Yeah, that's
Raise
good.
your
Yeah.
hand.
Just arbitrary.
I don't even think it needs to be in there. I think if they want an accessory building, they're gonna contact the.
Yeah, they can do the chart.
They would look under accessory buildings, wouldn't they?
Oh.
Yes, they would.
Yeah.
And so when we get to our site plan review, there's gonna be a section for staff approval and then planning commission approval. And the staff approval is gonna say accessory building,
Okay.
so.
Okay, so that will be covered and it won't be up to us.
So if you have a commercial building and you wanna build a pole barn for storage, the staff can approve the accessory building.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to come back to the planning commission.
So are we taking this out totally? Remove number 7 from this
That's
section?
moving to, permitted by right at accessory
Right.
building, right,
I believe number 7 will be removed.
yeah, okay. Warehouse and,
Remove, not move to permitted by right. Just
well,
remove.
it'll be permitted by right. Accessory building is permitted by right.
Right, so I'm sorry, so on the permitted by right, we actually need to add accessory building.
Yes.
Okay,
That's like number,
Number 42.
so go back
Number
to, yeah,
number 10.
Yeah.
accessory building, and it's number 10 now?
Yeah.
Anita, you're so good.
So it's an accessory, do we say like
Accessory building.
per chart, or just?
No, because it'll have to be approved by the staff, so they'll reference the chart.
What do you mean the staff? I don't
The-
understand that.
The zoning administrator.
Or, some of them say staff or zoning administrator. One other than the planning commission.
Aren't you glad we don't
Anita's
have
a
to
thumbs
do
up.
that? Yeah, that'd be all.
No one wants to come before you for special use.
Actually, they don't.
No.
That's why.
Straight to jail. Warehouses and mini storage facilities. That should be a special use. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah. 'Cause, ugh.
Yeah.
And then,
So the communication tower, that has to be in,
Yeah.
it's in all of them, isn't it?
I
Do we
thought
have
it
to
had
have the
its
date?
own section.
yeah.
No.
Do we have to have that date in
Communication
there,
tower?
added 5/7 of 18?
Yeah, no, it doesn't have to be. Oh, the date? Well, the date, and so in our new ordinance, do you have a amendment list?
Yeah, so the reason why the dates are in there is because at some point, the goal is to be able to connect all of the items.
Oh, so we don't have to wonder why it says oil and brine?
Right, so you can go back
Okay.
and see the original request of the planning commission or.
So as a zoning administrator, when you read this, then that's, so I know when the communication tower was, put it into the ordinance.
And if you have more questions, you can go to 2018.
Everywhere, right? Okay, that's good, because we need those things.
Everywhere,
Then why does it need to be special use?
because you still wanna give it permission.
Okay,
You still
okay. No, that answers my question,
You
yeah.
wanna have the setback.
Yeah, weren't you here for the discussion when we were talking about the color paint they were using on the one they just did?
Nope. I was not here, thank you, Jesus.
That
Okay.
was kind of an odd discussion.
Here at the zoning, I don't remember that.
Yeah, like
Was
since
I
I've been on it.
present?
Yeah.
Maybe I missed that meeting, I did miss it.
No, I don't think you missed that one.
Did we really
It was
care
a
what
special one, it was a
color?
special
I
meeting.
don't know, we didn't care.
Yeah, it was a special meeting.
Did we care?
Fire department.
Did
Oh,
they
on the
paint it
fire
a special
department.
color? What color did they paint
Well,
it?
it was just,
There was some comment about how it was, it had a certain color to prevent birds from landing on it or something.
Oh, yeah, and so that it would blend in with.
They painted a certain color for a reason, I don't know what it is, or I don't really care either. Tower's a tower.
That was the
I know.
color that was
Maybe somebody doesn't wanna look at it.
hot pink.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the thing that they wanted to
Yeah.
regulate, that it wasn't just stand out.
I mean, it's there, so.
Yeah,
So
but
the
that was a
additional
special
accessory buildings, does that move?
yes.
Okay. Woo, I
That
got
whole
that
section.
one right
Oh,
too.
I wrote that.
I did too.
Yay.
Look it up, high five.
All of these, 1 and 2, correct. And then we're on to the chart.
Which
Oh,
is
yay.
the 8.04,
Mm-hmm.
so that becomes a chart.
Let's see, and then they throw this number 3 in there, which is parking. So number 3 will be moved to parking.
Okay.
Is this gonna have its own section?
Pretty sure
Parking
we
has
have a
its own
parking
Yep.
section. We already worked on that language, I remember.
And maximum building
Yeah,
height
we
is
did.
already there, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
That'll just be part of the chart. So if you look at the
Yeah.
chart.
Chart's in section 4? No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
each district
Wait a minute,
will
but
have
you
a chart.
just gave us a new one.
Mm-hmm, it has the chart on it.
So I put everything in there. Took me a very long time.
I know,
I'm
thank
sure.
you.
I'm sure it did.
I think we can, section 4,
It is.
dimensional
The one she just
requirements.
handed us the other.
Oh.
This is-
Article 4, you
Yes,
just gave us
this
tonight?
chart will be,
That'll be the chart
It-
and all of the districts.
yeah, because we
Well,
just,
well,
well,
the
this
chart will look like that, but the lot area and lot width and the setback
will be different.
Will apply.
Will
Okay.
apply to the district.
And that brings up something else that I'm Her zoning administrator too, as you guys look at it, and she'll be providing some feedback. The reason I say that now is she made one comment about that chart, that, under lake properties, it should be noted on the chart that the rear and the front setbacks are reversed.
Okay, because lake is considered front.
But your ordinance doesn't say that. So if they want to be reversed, then we have to change it.
Oh,
Okay,
she's
so it's
gotta-
two front?
She's gotta learn our stuff. It'll take some time,
We don't do things
but
the common way.
Well, what
here
is,
in
what is
Columbus
most,
Township.
what is standard? Is it most standard to have two fronts, street front and lake front, or is it the lake side? Because I think the lake side is the front, personally.
It says front setback, street, same as front setback above.
And this is for the Lake District, right?
I don't
Or
know.
for the
I don't know.
residential?
Residential resort,
Residential resort.
R2.
Okay. Front yard setback, primary road. Oh, it says we did it out, we said primary road.
a residential resort, I thought that, is that the lakefront?
And then lakefront lots, front setback, street, same as front setbacks above.
Yeah, so her recommendation was just to put in there that they're reversed.
Oh, sure.
But we indicated
So
road,
I gave the
and we
specific
indicated
setback
lake.
of the street, and then and of the lake. So it's specifically.
You can call it
said-
front or back, whatever you want, but it says lake and road,
Oh,
right?
and the other thing she stated.
So it should be
is that
50.
Average water line, and there's no such marking anywhere, so she
Okay.
suggested high water line because there is a map of high water line.
Okay, well, that makes sense, then. Oh, as 40 feet measured from normal water level.
Yeah, she's like, what's normal?
Nothing is normal
Put these
anymore.
comments, can she put
Yeah,
these
she
comments in
will, so
writing to us?
moving forward, she will put
Okay.
everything in writing for you guys.
Okay. Okay.
Cause we'll learn and she'll learn.
What do you need? Do I have a copy of your paper? Do you wanna use this
I
one?
don't think so, I
Well,
know,
she's got it somewhere.
I'm guessing that I probably put it in here somewhere. I'll find it. Okay, let me look at it.
I mean, I think it's fairly clear how it's written, because from the primary street measured from right away, and then it says lakefront lots, front setback, street, same as front setbacks above. So, maybe it's just her preference, maybe it's just a preference or a,
I think she's probably just used to, probably all the other townships she works with.
okay. So
Does
I
this
think
say
whatever,
average front?
I think whatever is clearest and easiest for people to, all we have to do is vote on it, right?
So basically, it just means that the water is the front,
Yeah,
and then the street is the rear.
right. Yeah.
However, our ordinance currently isn't written like that, because we have all them weird setbacks in there, so if we reversed it, it would be different. It would be farther from the lake than.
Since front and rear is subjective, why don't we call it road and lake?
And that's what I did.
Yeah, yeah.
There's one here that says, offset.
Front,
Could actually
Yeah.
just change the verbiage to say
it says,
side setback and street side setback.
it says, blah, 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 that's just residential, let me get to the RO. So it says, minimum front yard setback from the primary road, okay?
Yeah, it needs to just be road setback.
Road setback, right,
take
minimum
front.
road setback. And then it
Front.
says lakefront lots, front setback, comma, street, same as front setback above, which would be, so instead of saying back, we could say road and lake, yeah.
And it also, above that there, it says average front setback.
It says average waterfront setback.
Yeah, there is the average
Oh, and
waterfront, but
waterfront.
that's existing buildings within 200 feet, you have to do the average and reduce it.
Oh, okay.
But but then
But
above
it
that,
says front yard.
it's, the top of that chart, it says average front setback.
Yes,
We need to indicate.
We need it to be average lake setback, or lakeside setback or
It's just fewer
something.
words, more succinct. That's
Yeah.
what you're going for.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then down here, it's average waterfront setback, and this is average front setback, so
Oh, and
if
that
it's
was
on there
another
two
thing she
times.
made a comment on, was the average.
Yeah, why are we saying average?
Because she's concerned that people are gonna look at that and not know what their setback really is.
Well, that's
Right.
currently in the ordinance.
She's explained that to us a lot of times.
It's currently in the ordinance.
Yeah, but do we wanna keep it in the ordinance?
I'm not sure. I just went with what we had, and we can go from there.
Cause we can determine what it should be.
I will say that Beth is concerned that if she gives that chart to somebody, that they're gonna have a hard time identifying what their setback is.
Yeah, I agree with
people
that.
don't know
I
how to do
agree with
averages.
that.
Well, yeah, because you're gonna figure the average and then you're gonna say, that's what I can do.
But the average is based on existing buildings. So if we
Correct.
just make a setback,
Based on those,
don't worry about what
the
other people
existing
have done
buildings,
in the
and
past.
just make it a
Moving
setback.
forward.
Moving forward, we
We
do
could do
it
that.
this way. So we can get rid of
Yeah.
that.
And I,
25 feet. It's really close to the.
It is, it should
Yeah.
be more like
Okay.
50.
and I like updating it because we're trying to get away from
Having everything right on the,
trashing the lake area and overcrowding it so terribly. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, and,
And being so vague.
yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
so we could we could do the setbacks a little bit further back.
Right, and now, and I like the thought of not worry about what
What's
they were
there.
allowed in 1940.
Mhm.
And
Because
then, yeah,
times have changed.
also have one for the street fronts also, so there's the water
Mhm.
and then the street front.
Mhm.
Well, I think the front one could be a little bit less, just simply because if you have to get back from the water, you're gonna need to maybe be closer to the street, which people don't.
And most of those streets
Yeah.
they're not primary roads.
No, they're,
Right.
you know,
But
most.
maybe keep in mind that some of them are.
right.
Mhm. Like Jeffsa, Upper Jeffsa.
Yeah, well,
On
and
County
some
Road
of
380.
Settle is on 384.
Mhm.
But those,
So I
I'm trying to think,
wonder
but those
if-
are already mostly established.
Yeah, but you
There's
gotta
some empty
remember
lots
that
there.
somewhere down the road, somebody could tear down a house
And
And
put
they
another one
do.
up,
So
okay?
I wonder if we kind of would like to keep it, we could maybe put it in the supplemental maybe, instead of in the chart, so people aren't confused. And then, the zoning administrator would know, oh, I have a tool that, they don't need a variance, I could use this, or we would just give it.
So I don't understand what the purpose is of using this formula, Tasha, for new homes.
What, the average thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I see what Tasha's saying. I'm gonna rephrase what she said, because I think it was confusing reading from this, I'm not sure you guys got it. The average setback, under maybe potentially like the zoning administrator guidelines at the end of the document, in the supplemental section, you could put that, and the zoning administrator could make a decision on without saying commission approval.
Okay.
I got that.
So in the chart, we put the hard setback, and then maybe put an asterisk, or something, or, power number 1 or 2, and then we refer to the supplemental section to where there's this relief, if you can't meet the setback.
Setback, the zoning administrator can go ahead and make that
The
decision.
zoning administrator would have this tool to take the property within 200
To
feet,
yeah,
and then she could reduce the setback, but not by 50%. So if the
Yeah,
setback
I
is
like
50
that.
feet, it still cannot be less than 25.
So why
Still
are
get some.
we allowing her to make a decision and go with the averages of what used to be? And we're talking new construction, right? And just not everywhere else
It's
then.
in all the districts.
it's in all the.
All of
districts.
them.
Yeah,
This is currently the text in your ordinance.
yeah.
I didn't add it or subtract it. It's currently.
So why are we encouraging the sale of lots that aren't truly buildable? If they can't meet the minimum setbacks, that's a pretty rotten lot.
I think this is more of a unique situation, like somebody is has a particular reason that they need to get an extra foot or two for some reason. We've had a couple, like, Rawson, who needed a few extra feet or whatever, now this is a little different, but I'm just using it as an example.
Who's
That
that?
little triangle lot.
Oh, he got a variance,
Yes, so what we're saying is that there would be.
but he wasn't building a new home. That was an accessory.
But
I'm just using it as
it's
an
an
Okay.
example. So that if somebody comes to the zoning administrator with a valuable reason,
An odd situation.
an odd situation,
The
then
zoning administrator can simply use that formula, and it won't be as confusing to the person doing it. They won't have to try to figure it. The zoning administrator can.
But if you tell
So
them.
why don't they just go ask for a variance?
If it's done less than the 50%, they still have to come ask for a variance.
Right.
So it's giving like a little buffer zone before it
Right,
has to come to us.
Yes.
But allowing you to clearly state, in the part that's gonna be passed out to all of your owners, what we would like the setback to be.
It could say.
I guess I don't like things that someone gets to say, well, yeah,
could
for you,
argue
we'll do
it's
this
already
and that,
in
and,
there.
right, right,
already in there.
I don't know why, where it came from, or,
I've been bringing a lot of things to your attention that you don't know that.
right. And it's just like, I mean, you know, like the old map where there's like one little spot of residential because somebody wanted to let their buddy sell 4 swampy lots. So, yeah.
So, I only have like one other township that uses this actual provision. I'm kind of neutral for it, I kind of like it because it's less of a variance process, there kind of is an outlet, especially for areas that are almost fully built out already, and there's only a few people left, and they're all in a certain spot, and now we come with this more strict setback. I'm not for ordinance.
So this is this is just in our R2 district.
Currently, it's
It's
in
in
all.
all of them.
It is in all of your.
See, I don't think it's necessary in all of them, but,
You can choose to not have it in all of them also, if you wanted to.
well, that's just me, I don't,
Well, I would think that in the commercial district, well, I don't know, I think that would be something we'd really
yeah,
have
that's
to.
different in commercial too.
Have to talk about.
It might be something better for maybe the lake lot or the RO district.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That seems more
I
likely.
can't see why you would need it for
For ag.
Right,
Right.
right.
you know.
Yeah.
So to me, that would keep, you know, predatory people who don't care about the community from.
Limit it to, you know, for lot sizes less than whatever, this is an option for the zoning administrator.
All right.
So how do we, so then, okay, so here's my question. So in that case, what we're looking at in section 8, do we need to rework that chart then? No, we just need to put those other things in there?
I'm gonna put
Okay,
the chart and then we'll go from there.
okay, okay.
But I made a note that we will come back.
Okay.
I think once we go through everything,
And then
everything we've already
review it.
done will make more sense. So
Yeah.
once we get through everything, like you keep saying, we'll come back to it.
And I don't know a better way to do it, I don't wanna do it for you,
Right.
because I want it to be your decision and your word, so.
We are all learning a lot,
So
I
it will
think.
take a
we
little
sure
bit
are.
longer, just because.
That's okay.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And having a planner come in and give you an ordinance and.
Well, and, yeah,
Yeah.
and the frustration with us, you know, taking our time, but for me, I prefer to think that people that are doing something for me are actually asking questions, even if they sound stupid. There's no such thing as a stupid question.
Well, a lot of this
My kids are
ordinance
bad.
work that we're doing is,
A lot of the what?
But
I'm
they're
sorry.
learning.
ordinance work that we're doing is reorganizing the current
Mhm,
ordinance. That's number one of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, and then while we're doing that, we're just kind of
Trying to make more sense?
cleaning it because, so we know that there are 3 times that it refers to signs and then.
Bringing it to the current century too.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We all live in this township, so I think, I'm glad that we're doing that because it is, you never know what's happening.
Right. Yeah.
Piece by piece.
Every single time we've had a zoning administrator, the first thing they say is, your setbacks are so confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, first of all, you're welcome, tell her I said you're welcome.
do we have a couple reports that we need to do tonight? And then we'll just have to, I think we're just gonna have to go 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, but I'm
The
looking
next time?
I'm just off the cuff, I'm looking at 9, and it says County Road 388, County Road 215, and 54th Street. Where is 54th Street?
The overlay.
Under the purpose of the commercial overlay.
And it refers to 1872,
54th Street.
the year.
No, I'm looking at the
I know.
intent there.
So this is
Eight,
fifty-seven.
right.
That's history on there in the second one.
54, I can't see on
I don't
this.
even know.
I'm gonna Google map it.
Christie's got a bigger map. Oh,
Yeah.
Christie's got a bigger
The
map.
one on the top, it's the street right here.
What?
Oh.
No, it's a north-south.
215.
Oh,
Oh, that's the other name for 215.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay, except for, when you go through Grand Junction,
It's 54th Street to the north.
turn left to go to 215,
Yes.
instead of turning left, if you go straight, that's 54.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you can see it right here on this map. On
So we are
Page-
here.
Oh, that's a nice bigger map.
big-ish.
Oh, page what? 67? Oh, look at that, Beth.
There we go.
It's 54th. So Grand Junction, there's 215. If you go north, it's
It's
54th.
54th.
Okay.
Okay. Going out
Did you see that?
the other way.
Yeah,
Okay, or you know it.
yeah, I know what you're talking
Okay.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Just like, why do they have to name everything differently? Okay, so,
I don't have it.
okay, yeah, you gave your report, right? Yeah.
about. This needs to be reworded, this is confusing.
Yeah.
I remember this.
So, we are going to do this in July. So in July, Tasha, would you say in July we'll do Articles 9, 10, 11, and then revisit some of those things that we talked about tonight, or?
And hopefully Christie can have some farmers
The
here.
farmers,
Yes,
and
and then
then
We
feedback
need to
from
work
them.
on, we
Okay.
need to come up with questions and.
Okay, yeah.
So,
can
who's
glean
gonna
as much
generate those questions for farmers?
I think we should all
yeah,
come
let's-
up with,
can we-
because we all wanna know different.
Can we, Christy, I have a question for you, or, Bill, you could probably answer it for me. So if we send an email to each other about questions that we wanna ask farmers, if the 5 of us did,
We can't,
we can't because it's.
we're not allowed to.
We're not,
You're individual.
okay, okay.
Or they could each email
Me, okay, and then I can send, okay,
we can separately email you. and
okay,
then
but
you
not,
can-
it can't be on a
Right,
thread of all of us.
Right,
Okay,
no, 'cause
perfect.
that's
I
like a
email them.
meeting outside of a meeting.
Meeting, okay, that's what I thought.
And I can email you, but you just can't do like 3 of us.
Right. 'cause it's a
Right.
I
quorum.
emailed all of
And-
you,
Or did you?
but then you responded just to me, and I think you responded just to me.
So like, if you
You
send
can't
an email
reply all.
that's
Right.
FYI.
I don't know if it was appropriate that I sent it to everybody.
If you're just sending information, you can, but not a question, or anything
Oh,
that,
Or any, like,
anything
let's
that
do
we're
it
gonna
this
do
way.
business on.
Okay,
To all of us, even if you're even blind carbon copy, and that's still like a round robin thing, so.
Okay.
You could talk to Dave,
Yeah.
You're allowed.
or.
Well, I was asking what we were
right, what we were doing.
concentrating
I
on.
even think that's okay if you say
Oh,
like,
but
what time
see,
is
now,
the
something
meeting?
like that is,
Yeah.
is a fine question, that's not anything that you're making a decision on, you're just
Right.
asking for information.
Yeah, how to move forward. with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then, do you have a report, Tasha?
Yeah, she didn't.
Oh, that's right, she's not the zoning
Right.
administrator.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
We need a report from Beth, when she gets
Really quick,
ready.
Beth, briefly touched on the, zoning map.
Yes.
The board requested that by our July meeting, that the planning commission submit the zoning map for approval. That means adjusting the current zoning map towards something that's in your future map.
So that would be at our next meeting.
Right, so at your next
So what?
meeting, you'll wanna talk about changing, 388 potentially to an overlay.
I thought it was already there.
That's future land use, we haven't actually changed it.
They wanna be able to actually use it.
We can do like a first draft, right? We don't have to do
Well,
a,
you guys already have it, I'm just throwing it out there, you guys already have the map. The
Yeah.
only thing that would have to change, would be changing that County Road 388
brought up a question about the, agritourism. So you guys would have to make those decisions. And then that.
Oh, on 215, the tourism on 215 and 388, or?
I thought the agritourism was going in the 388.
I have no
Some of the
idea.
board wanted to know if we wanted, we were considering expanding it.
Because at one point, when we were.
So not everyone's against expanding. I honestly don't even believe our supervisor is.
It had been suggested to also do 215 as part of it.
That was, so we actually originally, when the planning commission met, back when I was on it, we had agreed to 215 at one point, and then came back and removed that. So, but it had been agreed by everyone at one point to do 215.
And that was agreed
Except me,
up
right?
No,
to
you
North
had
Lake.
agreed and then came back the next month and changed your mind.
Or did I? Okay.
And Linda Miller also had agreed.
She agreed, Linda Miller agreed, yeah.
We went
Okay,
up to
so-
North Lake Inn. We went up to the old North Lake Inn.
If we have to discuss this at the next meeting, what do we
Yeah, what do we need to research in order to discuss this
I
at
don't
the next
even,
meeting?
I
I'm
don't
just
even
like,
know
I'm
enough about
lost.
what you're saying to discuss it.
So you need to look at your future map in your plan, in your
Right.
plan.
Okay,
Probably you have to look at the current one,
yeah.
okay? So the goal is to move from the current one, eventually, ideally, in an ideal world, you move from your current one to your future at some point, okay? So,
So in 20 years,
That's the future.
right,
that's kind of what we
Right.
would like our township to look like.
Okay.
But you don't necessarily rezone everything.
right.
So we would,
You just adopt the overlay.
Well, it could be, you need to look at it and determine which parts of it you want to send to the board.
hard because we're not going.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What happens to us if we just say, we can't do that right now?
Nothing?
Fired.
Legit?
I don't know for sure what the desire is. My guess is that the desire is to have the.
To get it done.
Yeah, I mean, how do we,
Well, the map doesn't get adopted, we do it all together, so the zoning map doesn't come first, and then you adopt them both together.
Actually, the way that our ordinance was written.
I'm comfortable with that? I mean, are you ready to do it?
Well,
I mean, you're on the board
at
too,
the
so.
same meeting.
You're kinda like, look at
Yeah, it's tough.
Yes.
I just know that,
But
you know,
there's two separate documents, correct?
some
But you
people are
would
order in a hurry.
tomorrow adopt the zoning and then.
And I'm more like this school thought, like, well, some things take time.
Together.
Maybe it would be
I'm in the middle.
good to send them, you know, this is what our
To
future.
propose.
Maybe just send them, say, this is what our the future map is, you know, here's, you guys all have the master plan. This is what we're proposing in the future. You wanted us to present you with something, here it is, give us your feedback.
Just send them their own, just send the same one.
Yeah, just write a little note that says, look at your master plan on page such and such, provide your feedback, we've submitted something for you, we plan on submitting this with our zoning ordinance changes in October.
Yeah.
Will you write that up and
We're
send it to
hoping
Cheryl
October.
so she can say it?
Cheryl and I can meet.
Okay. Okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, I would feel more comfortable doing that rather than trying to
Yeah, I would.
Trying to make a
trying to
decision
say,
on
oh,
it.
yeah, this is what we want, 'cause seriously, I don't know, yeah, we're just trying to work through the ordinances and make them, you know, not tomfoolery. Tomfoolery, my word for the day. I didn't actually, I just came out of my head, I didn't look at it on the calendar. I like it, it's very Dickens. Okay, so zoning administrator does not have a not
Yeah,
Tasha.
and I said I was going to, stand, I forgot to ask her for a report.
Okay,
You know, it's the first time that I had to do that.
ZBA Representative Report, do you have
That's me.
anything?
We have not met.
You have not met, okay. Township Board Member, you already gave your report. Any public comment? No public comments at 9:39. So somebody wanna make a motion that we adjourn?
I adjourn.
Anita's gone. Bye. Bye-bye.
I make a move.
Anita made a motion to adjourn. Who's gonna second it?
I guess we better let her do it legally though.
Okay.
Watching.
Yeah.
I move that we adjourn.
Okay.
Totally
Thank
forgot
you,
all my
Anita. Thank you very much.
Second.
Thank you, Beth, for seconding the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned at 9:40 PM on
Although, if you had wanted to do more, I would have been willing to stay and get more done,
yeah.
just off the record.
Yeah,
Okay,
me
yeah.
too, off the record,
Well,
but I know
but I
Anita's gotta
know-
get up
and
in the
then-
morning and
And
you
Richard
do,
wasn't
and-
here, so I'm just kind of,
I don't wanna stay.
no.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll
I
stay
know
if I
everybody
have to,
would.
but I don't wanna stay.
Guys had 2 minutes.
That was a little scary.
Wow.
Yeah.